universe is collapsing. The only way to save it is to watch Type 40.
Time for Type 40 Live, sighted on the weekend here on your live stream Doctor Who magazine show, the live stream Doctor Who magazine show, materialising on YouTube, Rumble and Facebook. And or whichever of those platforms, time streams or time zones you're joining us from, welcome. God, that sounded malevolent, didn't it? Yes, this is Type 40 Live, where we hit your view screen in real time and always in front of a live chat full of friends, fans and companions just like you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Yeah, this is where we cover not just the legendary TV series that's hitting its 60th birthday this month, but the whole Whoniverse around it, both on and off screen. Speaking about off screen, let's get me on screen. Hello, I'm Dan Hadley, Birmingham's king of the geeks, and we'll find out who you are in a moment or two. Thank you for being here, everybody. Nice to see the live chat filling up there across YouTube, Rumble and Facebook. Keep it coming. We'll get to the comments in a couple of seconds. And if you are in the Facebook group, the Type 40 Facebook group, hey, anybody over there, don't forget, hit that little blue link. That will let Facebook tell StreamYard precisely who you are. We'll get your coordinates. And StreamYard will tell us. We all get on first name terms to pick our way through the week. Try and put some of this to bed, put our minds at rest and round on some answers to the questions that have certainly been on my mind. I think they're probably on your mind as well. The Doctor Who machine is well and truly up and running, isn't it? And churning it out, never out of the news cycle, with speculation as well as actual news stories. We're going to see what we can cover over the next couple of hours. And I've got a console room full of pundits to bring on, all eager to have their say as well. Okay, which one should we pick? Which desktop theme shall we go for this time? How about this one? Yes, very, very warm. Yeah, I think so. There's a guitar hanging around here somewhere, I'm sure, but I can't play a single note. I wonder if anybody from the team can. I think I'd say she's dressed a little bit like one of AC/DC, so I suspect the starry-eyed girl, Sarah Graham, could probably jam something on a Capaldi's guitar if I asked her nicely.
No, sadly not. I'm not musical at all. My son Josh can. He's currently learning the bass, so he could do it. But yeah, no. Triangle's about my limit.
The triangle, ding. The teacher would go, and you go, ding.
To wait for your moment. Yeah, it was amazing.
You are flanked by teddy bears.
I think I've got a bit of a problem, haven't I? There seems to be more every week.
It's like you've got an armed escort. It's good to have you back. I'm happy to have you back on the show, Sarah.
I've missed you all.
Let's pull the rest of them in. Who've we got? Okay, yeah. Whoa, here he is. Yes. So I'm happy. I'm very happy that Simon Horton's here, because this is sort of. I look up to Simon, Sarah. I don't mind telling you, because there's nobody else can hear this. Simon's a bit of a style guru, and I know that if he's layering up, then I know it's safe for me too as well.
I'm freezing. I'm absolutely freezing. Yeah, I've got jumpers jumper on and I've got jacket on. So I'm trying to be vaguely smart, but because that's just how I tend to be. But it's tough when it's cold. So I'm looking autumnal. That's all I can say. I'm autumnally dressed.
It's November, and you always look smart, Simon.
Oh, you're very kind, and you look lovely as well this evening, Sarah.
Autumnal. That reminds me of something off the K's catalogue, from the 80s or something. You see autumnal wear. There's some geezer walking his dog.
They're just sort of pointing off in the middle distance, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
That's the
one. Beautiful.
That's the one. Yeah. I think
catalogue. We're aging ourselves down.
Do K's catalogue.
I remember the K's catalogue and the Freeman's one. So what does that say about me?
Do K's catalogue still exist? Instagram and X at 40 Doctor Who.
We do need to know. I need
to know that by the end of the stream, everybody. And okay, let's bring some more in. Oh yes, somebody else is always well turned out. She's quite well dressed as well. We've got Shah from Geek Rambles.
Am I? I'm freezing up.
He's suspicious. He's never that nice to you this early.
That's
you don't know what I've got coming up later on, mate.
Exactly.
Oh dear. Okay, right, here we go. Hello, everyone. How's everyone?
Hello,
I feel like I've not seen you, Simon, for a long time, actually.
I know.
Oh,
I've been out in the vortex somewhere. I don't know. I've finally made it back.
We've just been saying how cold it's getting, Shah. So we've put the heating on. Look, we've got a roaring fire sort of there.
It is. It's very warm, that picture, isn't it? It is.
Yeah, I quite like that one. So how have you been the last week or two? I know you've been settling into a new job and all sorts of things going on with you, hasn't it? But have you been keeping your finger on the pulse with Doctor Who, or do you need a download from the Matrix with us tonight?
Do you know what? I can never get enough. So even if I have, to be fair, I have actually been out of it a little bit, very, very slightly though. So yeah, I'm up for anything you've got to throw at me. Figuratively, of course.
Don't say that.
So looking forward to it.
It's not the first time you've been out of it either, is it? So I know.
Oh God!
There was no need.
Why do we turn up every week, folks? Why do we turn up together?
Get me out of that one, Ian David.
Sadist, I believe it's called, Simon. Sadist.
Hello.
Ian, welcome back, mate. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Still got your avatar there, mate.
Well, the thing is, what I've discovered is that I can use my phone as a camera, but unfortunately, I don't have anything to hold it up or anything like that. So I'm going to try and get a tripod for my phone and use it as a camera, because when I connect a camera to my computer, it just doesn't work. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So you'll see my face next time.
Marvellous. One can get some very clever gimbals at the moment for cameras, for phone cameras and things like that. So there are plenty of options out there, I would imagine. Instagram and X at Type 40 Doctor Who. Help out Ian there. Have you been, mate? It's been a few days. I spoke to you a few days ago about Doctor Who, and here we are back again.
Yeah, we're back. There's loads more news, according to you, right?
There is. There's lots of news, lots of fun and games, lots of comments already. Everybody's getting... I'm genuinely excited to bring this in.
Even I've heard some news this week.
And even better than that, everybody, we got Charlotte Shields here too.
Oh dear.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you.
All the compliments today, isn't it?
And also, I can promise the chat. I was going to say, us girls didn't communicate this. It just happened.
Oh, yeah.
They're all in black.
Simon, you're not wearing my black dress. What the hell?
How do you know I'm not wearing it underneath it? You can't see what's below here.
I feel like I'm in the presence of...
I think Ian's wearing it. That's
I was going to say, Ian, really not know.
Never know, would we? You don't get banter like this on Radio Free Scaro and all those places. Do you? Please like this video now, subscribe to the channel, and check you're still subscribed, and hit the cloister bell to get all the notifications about what we do next and when we're doing it as we close in on the anniversary. Yeah, the selection boxes are in the shops, everybody. And Pudsey, he's roaming around all the shopping precincts, rattling his little bucket. I don't know if you've seen it. So all the indicators are there that Doctor Who Day is on the way. 2 weeks away this very night, Shah. News and speculation are rifer than rife. They're rifest. Is that a word, Sarah?
Right now.
It is now.
Instagram and X at Type 40 Doctor Who. We're going to sort out the bull from the Nymon on this show and answer some of your questions. I know it's not going to get any better, but please like now. Out of charity, don't move a muscle. What should we cover first? Well, I think first of all we ought to go into the food area because everybody likes a snack here on the show. Not least of all a jammy dodger. Ian, I think you've popularised the jammy dodgers and the Jaffa cakes and the jam tarts and all this kind of thing.
Wow, look at that.
I know, it's amazing.
Isn't that cool?
I love it.
A positive mountain of Jaffa there from M Morris 71 on Twitter who tweeted that at us last week. But I was wondering, I want your answers on what do you think is on the menu here when Davo hit Soho with his companions. This is a picture from Janet Fielding that she tweeted out just last night. And where do you think they are? What do you think they're eating? They're going to have a sit down somewhere, aren't they?
But it looks like
they're in a
some
basement.
sort of a birthday party because that looks like a sort of paper tablecloth, doesn't it? The kind of thing that you get at a birthday party or something like that.
Could be.
I don't want to say, it looks like there's almost a flyer or a poster on the table. I just can't decipher what it is.
Yeah.
Why
is there this random salt cellar just sitting there?
No,
I mean, if it's a birthday party,
if
it's a birthday party, then it's got to be party rings because that's the only acceptable biscuit.
Hey, exactly.
It's a signing of some sorts. That's what it is.
Are there a signage, you think?
Yeah, of course, it's obvious. Well, I don't know. It looks because the table's so small, isn't it? And maybe
Well,
they're
then
in
why has he got a
restaurant,
pot
who
of
knows?
salt then?
I don't
Signing
know.
with salt?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe he's superstitious, so maybe it's not salt.
Maybe for protection, yeah.
I thought it looked like they'd gone for a Ruby Murray. I thought they'd gone out for a curry somewhere, and that's what all the water was for.
Really
some of those well, they are in my local curry house, and they're ever so small, the tables in there.
Not that small, surely.
And they don't have paper tablecloths on, surely, like that.
No.
Much more classy than that. Come on.
Oh, you've got a point. Maybe the paper tablecloth, they're actually doing some painting and decorating. I've got it completely wrong.
Could be.
What's that yellow thing? Is that a duster?
It's an umbrella.
That's an umbrella. Yeah, yes.
It's been raining outside.
We've got Sarah Sutton,
Anybody else
Janet
out there is
Fielding.
analysing this photo to the extent that we are.
Sarah, Janet, if you're out there, we've got Sarah Sutton, Janet Fielding, and Peter Davison here, which I thought they were out for a sit-down meal, but now the jury is decidedly out on that one. Smiles on faces, which is always lovely to see with our Doctor Who legends, but I never get sick of seeing pictures like this, Simon.
I just love that because these three obviously just still, after all these years, are still good friends, and that's lovely because it somehow legitimizes that era of Doctor Who as, you know, they're still having a good time together, and that's just lovely to see. Sarah Sutton in particular looks radiant in that picture. In fact, they all do. They all look fantastic.
They all look really...
Yeah, I've still got a bit of a crush on Sarah Sutton. You could be right.
Jealous.
You could be right. Yes, a nice picture. So if you were there and you spotted them out and about and you know what they were having to eat, let us know. We'd just be nosy, really, but we genuinely care that they're getting enough sustenance, particularly on these winter nights. And talking about friends, we're live streaming this as always over onto YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook. I think it's time we go and check out what they've got to say about all of this nonsense so far. Okay, because the comments here, they're really coming through. Let's go and find out.
Brilliant.
That's amazing.
What is that?
Fantastic. Made my night.
I want
Go
an
home
entire
now.
show of that.
Shaw looks confused.
She doesn't know who he is.
I am.
Never
Where's
mind,
the
never
damage,
mind.
right?
Oh,
Where's all
Yeah.
damage? Yeah.
that's right. As
I
played by
can't
John
believe you actually
Pertwee.
have to ask the question, Shah.
Sorry.
It's fine.
He did 3 or 4 series on ITV on Southern Television in the early 80s. John Pertwee there as well as Gummidge, and then a couple more seasons at Down Under in New Zealand. Talk about Down Under. We've got our real life time traveler beamed in as well,
Oh my
materialized.
God, we're all here.
He's
Yeah.
up. I know he's up. He's vertical, I
Blimey.
think, and we'll see. I'm pretty sure he's sober, fresh as a daisy. Matt Pop, welcome back.
Hello, I am vertical. Yes.
Hello, Matt. Good to see you.
Although I can be horizontal at times. So,
On demand.
on demand. Yeah. Whenever they ask me.
You're just in time, buddy, because we're about to check in with the live chat here. We've got lots of people dropping lots of comments and some truth bombs, no doubt, and maybe answering some of our silly questions right away. Let's go and find out. We've got Matthew Butterfield in, who asks, "Am I doing the buffet as per?"
Yeah.
Yes, Matthew.
It does look like a buffet table, Matthew. It does look like a buffet table.
Yeah, I think that's we're wondering now where the cast of Doctor Who circa 1982 could be out eating, Matt. That's what we've been speculating about. All the important questions here on Type 40 Live.
There's beer as well, look. There's a beer.
Well, we know where Matthew Waterhouse is because he was always at the buffet in Black Orchid, wasn't he?
He's taking the picture, surely, isn't he?
So Crippling Doubloon says, "Is he throwing up in the gents?" It's possible, Crippling Doubloon.
Won't be the first time. Good evening, everyone.
Hello, John.
Says John Yilden. Hi,
Sorry.
Hey guys, from Scottish Davros.
Hi, Daniel.
Everybody knows that Scottish Davroses are the best ones, the definitive articles. Hey everyone from Lord Thoth, and ahoy shipmates from Crippling Doubloon. Hello, mate. Oh,
I love it. If anybody's tuning in for the first time, and we're all just saluting random people.
I think that's the thing that's made them go, "What on earth am I watching?"
Yeah.
We've got cookery
Stick
tips
around,
here. in the
drop
live
in.
chat. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's always good to read. We have Garbage here as well, also saying hi's and hellos and hails and all that kind of malarkey. As is, blimey, this is jumping like a jumping bean. Ben Case is here too. He's saying hi everyone, and you get a round of applause for something or other, Sarah. I'm not sure what that's for, but nice to meet
I'm just so good on.
Don't argue.
you. Evening all, says Simon Ashley.
Hello,
Howdy
Simon.
all, says Carol Jew.
Howdy.
Howdies and highs and hails.
Howdy.
And Simon Ashley asks, hi everyone, is it cold enough for you all, Simon?
Hey, flipping well is, Simon. Definitely cold
It
enough.
will get worse as well. That's the thing.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Watch your dudes from Sam.
Sam, I love it when you call us dudes.
Yeah, makes my night, that
All of
does. I'm
us?
gonna be honest.
Yes.
I've never been called a dude until I started doing this show here.
I think I'm being sarcastic, to be honest, probably.
Could be. Wait till I tell my kids, they'll be made up. The Darren Zone says, so here we all are again. Lovely, isn't it? That should be said with a Welsh accent, but I won't insult Darren by attempting mine. What else is here? Cynix is in as well. Evening all, hope you're all good. I'm getting there, Cy. How about you, Charlotte? Are you getting there, or you're already there?
I'm there. I'm with you guys.
The original team is back. Yeah.
The hardcore. Rose M. Kirby, Ian says she's had Thai for tea.
Wow.
Good morning, good afternoon to everybody in the chat, and hello from Rose. Thai for tea.
Like what you did there, Rose.
Yeah.
Tea Dwarf Productions. Evening, everyone. Happy Scorpio.
Oh, and I know, and that's Tom. That's Tom, the guy who makes these wonderful figures. And I know he's off to Comic Con this weekend. I think he's off to see Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy. Lucky old Tom.
Oh, good stuff.
Time, mate.
Nice one.
We'll be seeing them later on ourselves here in as part of the show. Yeah. Greetings, everyone. Says Wendology. I think I'm being trolled in the live chat here from Matthew Butterfield. Please welcome the one and saucy git. Oh God, Tony Elzin. I know he's here because I've seen him. There he is.
Hi, Tony.
Hello, Tony.
Yeah, we ought to do one of these on a cruise ship one day, hadn't we? On a ferry, Shah. What do you think? Because there's always a nautical theme. We ought to take the ocean waves.
Cruise sounded great, and then you ended it with ferry.
What is glamorous, is it?
Who's funding the cruise? Who's funding the cruise?
This is it. We're already working our way down the leagues. Hi, Simon from Paul Flint.
Hello, Paul.
Greetings,
Maybe
Who
maybe
Lovers.
it's other Simon. Maybe it's Simon
Hi,
Ashley.
guys.
It could be. Greetings, Who Lovers. There's Sarah from Gary Acres. I like Who Lovers. That could catch on.
Yes. Let's get that trending.
Could catch on. John Yulden says the Type 40 Lang gang looking dapper tonight makes me feel like I should put a suit on. Suit on? Matt, I don't know about you, mate. I've most of the time I've never really got trousers on. Never mind a suit.
Listen, we'll let you into a secret out there. We have done this in our pajamas before now.
Yes,
or at least below camera. We've all done it in pajamas. We probably have in pajamas now.
Yes.
Probably. Good evening, Shah.
I know you have, Matt.
I got
Good
one.
stuff.
Yes, you have, Matt.
Yeah, I'm in my PJs. Yeah.
Good man. Tony L brings up the question about Kay's catalogue there. Didn't Lulu used to be the face of Kay's catalogue? I used to have a major crush on Lulu. Don't know why, Ian. I had no idea what that was about.
I remember Kay's catalogue. They used to have the Doctor Who toys right at the
Yeah,
back.
they did.
Yeah, man.
Just to miss that one. We always had, to be fair, Marshall Ward catalogues in our house.
did
So
you?
missed out on the Doctor Who toys. They never got them.
Gratans.
Gratans were cool.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
All hail the Queen.
Hello, Matthew.
All hail the Queen, says Matthew Butterfield. There we are.
Well
Where is
done.
he? There he is.
Charlotte.
Yeah, there he is.
The
No,
rest
and,
aren't worthy.
And we've got hellos too from Wendology
Hello,
for
Wendy.
both Shah and
Hi,
Charlotte.
Wendy.
Roses.
Yeah,
and
forget
crowns.
about us, Wendell.
Yeah, we don't.
Me, Matt, and Dan, and Simon. Just forget about us, all right? You
We
know,
don't need it, mate. We don't need it.
Matthew's
Not being
asking,
funny,
Ian, stripped
but-
off again? Stripped
yes,
off again, Ian?
I'm in the buff, mate. I'm in the
Get in
buff.
the
Hey.
He's still wearing his scarf.
That's right. And the socks. The socks are on.
The three Jaffers, says Gary Akers. I don't know if he's talking about the Jaffa cakes, or if that's you three, the girl band here, all dressed in black.
Yeah,
Oh, I like that.
They're all orange.
yeah.
I would have called you.
Salon.
I would have called you All Saints. I think that was far nicer, but I think Gary's is funnier. Oh God,
Either will do.
Yeah,
I thought we were the Type 40 Angels.
yeah, that'll do as well, won't it?
Again, that excludes us, for God's sake. You know, come on, it's the team you're talking about here, not just the girls. We're around.
Girl power.
Not even
That's what we like to see. Yes, and Crimpling the Balloon says, for the people out there who don't know, who want to savour it for the first time, Wurzel Gummidge is coming to Talking Pictures TV Friday the 1st of December, and it looks like they're using the remastered versions from the Blu-rays. Well, I'll be bum swizzled. Yeah, just a beautiful series. I'd recommend it to anybody, whether you love John Pertwee
Better than
or
that
not.
remake.
I used
the remake.
to be
remake as
scared
well.
of it.
The remake is scary.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
no,
terrible.
the new one. Well, the other one's terrifying as well.
I never
someone
liked
that
it.
takes their heads off. Jeez.
I had to watch it when my dad had a massive crush on Una Stubbs, so we had it on all the time.
Oh, really?
And I did, and I was
That's a weird one even
terrified
for me.
of. What?
I
Where's
prefer
the-
Barbara Windsor myself.
Is
There
that-
you go.
Hi, I'm Matt from Wendology.
Mm.
Oh, you
Hello,
get a
Win.
hello.
Greetings
yeah.
and salutations, one and all, from Tony Farrell, and lots more of that kind of
What have
stuff
you
all
got in your
drifting in.
arm?
Yay!
Lenny's arrived.
Lenny.
Lenny's in the building.
Real
Hey.
star.
Oh,
Real star. Hopefully.
And the chat will explode
Nice
again.
girl.
I know.
He chooses his moments, doesn't he?
Yes.
Aw.
He loves that.
He
I
knows how to
wanna
make an
say-
entrance as this little chap.
I want to say hello to
Very
Cheryl as well. She's
excited.
joined us in the live chat there. Our Gallifrey angel, as has the one and only Sfila Betkin, Rabbi from another planet.
Hey, Rabs, hope you're well,
ho.
mate.
I hope you're all right down there, pal.
Or up there. It's probably better up there.
Yeah.
SK Props admits that she lives in her PJs. Well, we'll keep it to
Right,
So
ourselves.
do I.
Yeah.
Come to the right
Oh,
place. We're
that.
very discreet. Very discreet indeed.
Comfortable in PJs.
Mm.
Yeah, well, that's the idea, isn't it? That's the
Second
idea.
suit.
That's the whole point of them, yeah.
Strip overnight,
Rose,
you know.
Rose is asking, please, can you say if any of you are going to MCM Comic Con 1st or the 2nd of December in Birmingham? I'm not this year. Are any of you guys going to that?
Sadly not. No.
I
I
don't
went to
like
one in
the last
London.
Comic Con I went to was just, I found really stressful. It was just heaving with people. We queued for hours to get in. it's just not my idea of a fun time anymore. Used to be fantastic.
Yeah, I used to love them.
Need to have a booth. Need to get a booth.
We've
I just want to say,
we've spoken to them about it, so it may happen.
Sorry.
Yeah, we need a booth. We need a Type 40 booth.
Sure.
That way we can stay out.
No,
of
I was just going to
people's
say,
way. They can come to
we
us.
don't want that. We are all very busy on the 2nd. So I just want to make that very clear. If anyone's going, then I am not going to be anywhere other than in front of my television. So sorry.
For hours
Depends on how the first one goes.
Ian England is in the live chat, Shah, and he says he's just started watching. I don't know if he means literally just on this stream or just started watching the show, but whichever it is, Ian, welcome. Welcome
Hello,
this
Ian.
evening.
Welcome, yeah.
England. That sounds like a name made up by Russell T. Davis, but there you go.
The Mecranon is also in, Ian. Does that sound like a
The
creature?
Mecranon.
Yeah.
That sounds like a name. That sounds like a name Jerry Anderson could have invented.
Yes.
Anyway,
Are you
hello,
okay,
Mecranon.
Matt?
Welcome.
Loving it. Keep the comments coming, everybody. Keep the hellos coming.
Pronunciation.
All the slaps on the back, all the referrals for classic TV shows too. And yeah, by all means, tell us about all the events that you're going to that we're not. I think we are going to events here and there, and certainly we are next year, but more on that on another show. And yeah, the MCM Birmingham, well, it is sort of on our doorstep. So I go to those sometimes, but I haven't for a little while.
No.
If you do go to that,
SK Props is saying, told you I can get you in. I don't know what that means. SK Props need elaborating on that one, please.
yes, I've spoken to SK Props about this in the past. Yeah, I'll remind you. I'll remind you later, Simon. I'll remind you later. Okay, yeah, thank you, everybody, for the comments. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, check you're still subscribed, and hit the cluster bell for those all-important notifications. There's still some questions that definitely need answering.
Welcome to Type 40.
I love him.
So, oh, he's great, isn't he?
Little boy.
Yeah.
I completely agree. So we've had our dates for a couple of weeks now, Shah. If you remember, we were chomping at the bit, weren't we, to find out exactly when Doctor Who was going to start this trilogy. And we've had the dates for a little while, but we really need to plan this and we need to nail things down, I feel. So it's time that we got some further details, because Doctor Who fans are never satisfied. We know the dates, but I do think we need to know the times, the time slots for these 3 episodes of Doctor Who. They've not been published yet. No TV guides yet. It's still 2 weeks away. But we've been doing some detective work, and I reckon we found some likely suspects, some zones and times that we can block in now and make sure that nobody rings us or disturbs us or knocks us up while the show is actually on, when Doctor Who is actually on TV for the first time, proper Doctor Who for the first time in years. So I've been over, Matt, to a site called DigiGuide TV, and they do tailor-made TV guides. This is all based online. And whilst they haven't got Doctor Who yet, don't get too excited. They have got the schedule here for Saturday, the 25th of November, which is called, that's the all-important date that Doctor Who's actually back. So here we are, we're looking at BBC One, specifically in London, but it's the same all over the country now. And if we work our way down, there's Breakfast and Saturday Kitchen and Bargain Hunt and the BBC News and Football Folks and all these things. But if we scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, we can see there's a bit of a gap. And it's right there. It's after The Weakest Link, which is a game show that's not long come back to the telly. And Robinson used to do it, and Romesh Ranganthanan presents it now. I hear he's funny, but yeah, the jury's out. But after that, so that finishes at 6:30. But at 7:30, Strictly Come Dancing comes on. So there's that block of 1 hour on the 25th. I'd say that has to be a shoo-in, wouldn't you say, Charlotte? That's where Doctor Who's got to go.
Well, we did say it'd be something near Strictly, didn't we? We all sort of guessed that. So it makes sense. And it's six-ish slot makes sense as well. And they've not announced it. So yeah, I can see there's like 3 things that makes me think, yeah, that's a good enough guess until we officially know.
We've got a question mark there, which isn't the Doctor Who logo as such, but it is still associated with the show. So it's a little earlier than that time slot we had regularly during the mid-noughties, Sarah. But at 6:30, that's a nice snug spot there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's perfect for families. So yeah, I'm hoping this season, keep it before Strictly, I think, because last time it was Strictly that was the problem, and it kept moving around because of that. So I'm well happy with that. So
it's
fingers crossed that's
good.
right.
And the beauty of it, Simon, is that it will be dark outside because the nights are drawn in, haven't they? It's just how you like it. So you'll get that autumnal, wintry Doctor Who feeling, all being well, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I would have said it's just about perfect. I mean, I would like to see it sort of slightly later, sort of say 7 o'clock. Wasn't that when it went out in 2005? Didn't it sort of roast about at 7 p.m.? That always felt just about the right time to me. 6:30 feels a little bit early, but let's not forget back in the day it was on at like about 5:30.
Oh really?
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely. It's sort of
scary though, man.
5:20, 5:30. So 6:30. Yeah, I would say it's just about optimum. To be honest, as you say, it will be dark. So it's got to be, no doubt at all. That's the slot for Doctor Who, isn't it? It's good line.
I think so. So we've got Wendology says doorbells, phones, all on mute while the specials are on. Do you go that far as well, Ian? Do you swear everybody to silence and turn the old phone off?
No, not really. I don't have any control over my brother or my mum. So, but the thing is, it's only me and my brother. Me and my brother just we watch it together. So, because Richard's really into Doctor Who, he even watched the Jodie stuff. So we'd probably be sitting there waiting, flip over to the BBC and
he
waiting.
was the one that watched it, was it? He got the radio.
He watched all of them because he's a fan, but he said he didn't like any. He said the stories were stupid, but he still watched them anyway. I stopped watching. Yeah.
Tony says, I'm going to a pre-wedding dinner on the 2nd of December, Ian. All notifications and phone will be off.
Oh dear. That's not good.
Never mind.
Nice surprise, though. Nice surprise.
Yeah. So I think that's looking pretty conclusive, even more so when you
know what?
over.
Everybody should watch it at the same time and have their phones and start texting each other, going,
"Oh no, don't do that!
Silly.
No, don't you be spoiling it for me. I've got to wait nearly 12 hours or something.
That would do my head in.
Oh my god! Yeah, of course you do.
I've just realised. Sorry, I'm just going through my diary. The third episode will be on the 9th of December. Am I right?
That's right.
Yeah, I'm out. I've just looked at my diary.
I'm out as well, Simon.
Oh no!
Oh my god! I'm out as well.
For a Christmas dinner on the 9th of December. Look, there it is. It's in my diary.
Well, this is all Russell's fault because we thought it was Whovember, so I deliberately didn't plan anything.
Good point.
In November.
I'll send you a strongly worded email of complaint.
Yes, so look forward to about 3 of us, if we're lucky, on the live stream that night.
I should write a letter of complaint.
I'll be there. I'm not going out that night, so I'll be watching it. So
Oh my god!
You never go out unless you're filming.
Oh, Shah, you're too popular. We have so that's looking pretty conclusive. But if she's going to cancel, we have that.
Really?
So we have
not really.
But when you drift over to BBC 3 for that same night, they've already got Doctor Who Unleashed confirmed for 7:30 there. 7:30 till 8 p.m. So that has to be. That's all the proof we really need, isn't it, Simon?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely.
It can't go anywhere else. So these things do come in handy. The BBC and Radio Times and all these sort of old-fashioned institutions of broadcasting insist on keeping a lid on this until the very last minute. I think that's pretty self-defeating in this day and age when everybody can work it out for themselves, Shah, through a little bit of tinkering and smartphone detective work, can't they?
Oh, it's just I love it. We can just sort of be like, get the Pink Panther music on and just start investigating. I'm all for it. Give me all of that. I'm so excited. I feel like we've just been waiting so long for this, and it's been a real slow slog, hasn't it? It feels like we've just been on the slowest bus into this point. So I'm really really excited to get things going.
It better be good after all this.
Right, exactly. I agree.
I was saying to somebody the other day,
it's disappointment.
It's almost as if great. It's almost as if though. It's almost as if we've been institutionalized, though, Matt, by this long wait. I think the fact we're actually going to get to see it after 18 months it seems really, really strange. What on earth will we speculate about after that?
Oh God, I just can't wait for it just to finally release. It's taken up so much time, and they've been so quiet about it.
And
Seriously,
does nobody else kind of think the amount of expectation riding on this is
that's
their own fault?
It is.
It is their own fault, Dan,
especially
you're
for
right,
its
you're
success, Simon. You know, if it
Yeah.
don't succeed in this first episode,
you've
got to get people back for the next one.
Yeah.
It really has got to be off the scale good. This has to, because of the expectation and because of the amount of waiting and the lack of information we've had so far. It's enormous, the expectation on this.
Paul Flint is
as big as
convinced.
Rose, wouldn't you say, Dan? It's as big as Rose's expectation. This is not bigger.
I'd say that it's as big it's probably a bigger TV event, because when it came back that time, there was a lot of people who either feigned disinterest or were genuinely not interested. I think it's a bigger deal, partly because of that, but partly because it's kind of a. Even though we know there's going to be 2 seasons yet to come that are going to be made, as regards its success, its long-term success, this is the last chance saloon really for Doctor Who on television. I think we all know that. And so the stakes now are actually higher than they were in 2004 coming into 2005. And that's a sobering thought. And you could say it's a nihilistic one. You think it's a bit of a black pill. But I think it's accurate. I'm just pleased that the trailer was so good that I'm more inclined to think that it is going to hit and hit big than not. I think all the signs.
I want to be blown away.
Yeah.
There you go.
We all do, sure. We all do.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
We've
when
made
it.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Gary Akers here says we've made it through the wilderness years too. It feels like years.
Yeah,
It does feel like that.
for me.
Yeah. We've got strong rumours that the episode will be introduced by Sontaran eating chocolate, according to John.
no.
Ewan.
If they
hope
do
not.
that, I
I'm
will.
sure. I'm
Nah,
sure.
around.
They
John's
won't.
gonna laugh.
Charlotte,
I have
it's
no
trivial
idea what
rubbish.
it's-
It's not going to happen.
I don't even know
They're
what
the
that's a
Mr.
reference.
Potato Head
It's
version
a
too.
chibnall thing.
It's a chibnall
It
thing.
is.
Oh, okay.
Let's not talk about it.
See,
Yeah.
Move on.
This is genuine. People think I'm being obtuse or being censorious. I've genuinely washed my brain clean of anything that happened during that appalling era. It just doesn't.
It was that dreadful scene when a Sontaran was in a newsagent or something and ate all the chocolate. It was just let's move on.
I have no
Nothing to see here.
idea. I'm far too excited on Saturday, the 25th of November. That's when we're getting Doctor Who on BBC One there between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. in HD. I'll definitely be there. I hope you will too. Directly followed by Doctor Who Unleashed over on BBC Three for a further half an hour. A nice lean half an hour runtime there. They're not stringing that out for a full hour. Looking forward to that as well. The double bill, Doctor Who and Doctor Who Unleashed on the evening of Saturday, the 25th of November. So even though this isn't concrete, it's not approved by the BBC. I think we've got it rumbled there, Simon. I think we've got our dates. We've got the dates. We've got the titles. We've got the poster. This dropped the other day, Simon. This brand new poster there, very comic booky. Did you catch this?
Nope. This is the first time I've ever seen this. So I'm leaning forward and having a little investigate. I'm trying to work out who's that on the telly screen. Middle.
That is Snooky Bill.
Puppets, right?
It is shot. It's Stooky or Snooky Bill, who was the puppet that John Logie Baird used on the very first ever television broadcast as a test.
Get you. You're clever, aren't you, Dan? How'd you know that?
Gary Akers told me.
You should have run with that one.
Thank you, Gary.
I don't believe you. No, that's interesting. Why is that there? I wonder. Intriguing.
Don't know.
Well, we have been over this before, but I think you've been so overwhelmed with excitement, Simon. You just forgot, because we do know that John Logie Baird is going to be one of the characters in one of the episodes. We're just not quite sure.
Okay, that one completely.
I didn't know that either.
It's like the 13th Doctor, actually. Quite wooden.
Okay, so there we are. We've got our poster too. We've got our posters, our dates, our times. We probably get the Jaffa cakes in any day now, Ian. So we're pretty equipped. That's another couple of questions answered, I think. I've got another question though. Now, Simon. I suspect that this one, you've really wanted to know the answer to this one, haven't you? Who is going to be GQ Magazine's Man of the Year for 2023? Has this been on your mind lately as well?
Not a lot, if I'm brutally honest. I can't mask it. I can kind of pretend to
Right,
be
hey, Jeff,
vaguely
come on.
interested.
You're doing brilliantly, mate. You're doing brilliantly.
Is it Simon Houghton?
It should be, Sarah.
It should
Or
be.
if it's
Come on,
GQ
magazine.
Oh, God. Oh, why do I do it to him, everybody? Instagram and X at Type 40 Doctor Who. I'll put you out of your misery because I can tell you're on the edge of your seat there.
I am.
Not you.
I am.
GQ Man of the Year is perhaps.
Oh, could it?
That one.
My goodness, you could knock me down with a feather. Wow.
The incoming 15th Doctor has been filming brand new Doctor Who for a couple of weeks here and there in brand new costumes too. Simon, I've spared you the agony of looking at Ncuti Gatwa in yet more costumes. That's the good news.
Well, in not much of a costume yet again. We seem to have an enormous amount of flesh on show yet again.
Yes.
His
I tell you
eyebrows
what,
are
he hasn't
fabulous.
got much chest hair, has he?
What's that in the background? Is this a sequel to Pyramids of Mars?
Of Mars.
And it's funny you should ask that because this is the cover of this month's GQ magazine, and Ncuti takes pride of place there. It's there to publicise this year's Men of the Year bash, which takes place on the 16th of November. So he's not been crowned just yet. It takes place on the 16th of November in LA, and the blurb is this year's Men of the Year bash is an ode to our cultural moment as defined by the stars, whose work spans both reality and hyper-reality, whose moves have unlocked new stratospheres in business, clout, and success.
What?
I have
they
no idea
Why
what
is it
any of that
nominated?
means.
I don't know what
Ian.
half those words mean.
That's overselling it just
Yeah.
so
What's
slightly.
he done to be nominated, though? That's the
I have
question.
no idea. Nothing
Well,
yet.
taking
That's
his
the
clothes
thing.
off mostly, I think. we've been told.
Yes, so to drum up interest in that, this issue of the magazine is out now, and Ncuti has given a full interview.
Oh,
and
good.
This may surprise you. A full photo shoot too. Try stopping him, Sarah. He
Oh,
probably did
good.
it for free.
Oh, I can't wait. Is
I
it
bet-
too late to subscribe? Is it a special issue?
So there, yeah, he's there on the cover. Looks like he's just taken a Mickey Finn. Looks like a hangover cure of some sort. And the various pictures inside. We've got this. If you're
Oh
feeling-
my God!
Oh,
Just stop it, Dan. Stop it.
Oh, I love. No, Simon, look at the wellies.
Yeah, I've seen the flipping wellies. I can see them. Dear
I
I like
Lord,
the
what's-
wellies. I
what's-
don't like anything else.
What's
So
that in
nice
the background? Is that a turkey twizzler?
It's like someone knitted. It's like someone knitted a jumper and couldn't stop.
You could be right. It's the Tom Baker scenario all over. I thought it was
It's
some
that
sort of.
lady, isn't it?
I thought that the Whizzy Pink thing was something you bought out of one of those catalogues, but you could be right. So I'm going with your answer for the sake because it is
Oh, what, a
slightly before the
marital
launch.
aid?
A marital aid, that's the one. Yeah.
Marital
So
aid.
we've got that, whatever that
colours
is.
are
And
they?
there's
Lord.
this. What do you think of this?
Oh, no, please make this stop. Please.
He's wearing 3 belts there, Simon. You don't think that's a
Yeah,
sensible move in case you get
Gonna
caught?
say a bit BDSM there.
yeah.
The blurb here
You
says
got the
that
water.
we've got a blurb and it says for a slightly off-world photo shoot, Ncuti Gatwa writhed in the pink sands of a faraway moon in the futuristic menswear of tomorrow.
Oh, really? Oh,
You're already in trouble then for tomorrow.
yeah. I really can't see many men
This is a
wearing this
piss
tomorrow.
take, isn't
to be
it?
honest.
Oh.
Well,
Simon,
Piss
if I
take.
don't see you
Jeez.
wearing that when we meet up, I'm not going to.
I just kind of think, it's kind of Emperor's New Clothes. Does he genuinely think he looks good in it? Do they think he looks good in this? It needs somebody to sort of say, look, just stop it. It's not working. You can look. He's a good-looking guy. You can put pretty much anything on him, and he'll look good.
Yeah, of course he does.
That doesn't mean you have to.
This is proof you can't actually put just anything on him, and he looks good. He looks like an idiot. I mean, that's probably about the least offensive outfit.
Did they shoot this like a couple of years ago? Because he's got the coloured blonde hair, isn't he?
Barbie
No,
hair.
it had been a few weeks ago, mate. This would have been taken before he went back to work. Yeah, he dyed his hair back to black a few weeks ago. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I don't look
like
to
same
be
set as
clear.
Doom.
I don't really have much problem with people wearing whatever they want to wear, but I don't know. This seems to be done with so much ego.
Don't get out in public.
It just feels egotistical. It feels like he thinks. I could be wrong. It looks like he thinks he's just God's gift to the world. I don't know. Could be wrong.
Darren Bradley is confessing in the live chat. I have a belt like that. He's
Yes, but you have three, Darren.
Darren.
Yeah.
You wear at the same
Behind
time.
closed doors, though, don't you?
Sorry, Charlotte. What was that?
I said, but do you have three, Darren, that you wear at the same time?
I might try it. It's like clinch my waist. Well, oh my God, I can't even speak. My waist in a little bit. That'd be lovely. That, yeah. I'll do it.
Yeah, so this is our
see, he looks
doctor.
great like that.
Yeah.
He does, doesn't he? That's the
He's
doctor.
like
I'm fine with
He
this.
He
Yeah.
looks a lot more attractive like that, and that is the doctor to me. Because I can see people in the chat going, "Oh, that's not the doctor." I don't care if his character's good. I could not give a toss. Just make it good, Shooty, please, and I'll be so happy.
I am reassured, Shah, when I look back at this picture, which is an official picture for Doctor Who, that's on the cover of the new Doctor Who annual. It's one of several pictures that have been taken for that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, and I'm sure he's going to be great. But if he's going to be, look at the way I see it, if he's going to be seen in public wearing stuff like that, we've got every right to take the piss, and I'm sure he wouldn't
Oh, yeah,
necessarily
sure.
mind. Retro Doc speculates here that GQ stands for getting queasy.
Yeah,
It stands
with you on that one,
supposed to stand for Gentleman's Quarterly, I think. I think it's
Oh,
quite
is that
an old
what
way.
it is?
Yeah,
I do kind of agree with Who fan down there that he does seem to exude arrogance. I could be wrong, and I pray I'm wrong, but he does seem to exude arrogance. Sorry.
Wendology agrees with Vanessa and Shah. I'm good with the brown coat. It suits him.
It does.
I
it
do
really
like
does.
that coat. That is a doctorish coat, but
Of
I'm yet
course
to be
it is.
convinced.
It's a pimp's
I
coat.
think in that photo, in that photo, he looks the doctor to me, and that's all that matters, really, in the end, doesn't it?
Just looks like a Huggy Bear to me, but there we go.
Yeah, big fan of Huggy Bear. Big fan. John Yordan says it's all in the performance.
Yogi
If he
Bear.
knocks it out of the park, I am fine with it.
Well, yeah,
And yeah,
right, John. Fair point.
Yeah.
I would agree.
healthy
I'd agree
place.
with that, John. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other day, Simon, I don't know if you're aware of this, we got confirmation that of the title for the first episode that will star Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor on Christmas Day 2023. It's going to be called The Church on Ruby Road by Russell T Davies. So we have our title as well. Exact time slot to be confirmed.
I like that.
I like it as well.
Poetic, isn't it?
I
like
think
that.
so.
Yeah.
I think so too. So we have little drips and drops coming thick and fast. We'll have more Doctor Who than we've had for quite a long time with us on our screens in next to no time. Let us know what you think of that. Are you a subscriber to GQ magazine? You taking fashion tips there from Ncuti? Do you like what he's got on there? Or is it all just a bit of fun and you're quite okay with it either? Sticking with magazines, Doctor Who magazine have their 60th anniversary edition published today. This has been in the shops and with subscribers. 60 years of Doctor Who, 60th anniversary souvenir issue. Comes in one of these enormous sort of poly bags and with lots of text all over it. I think I've gone a bit overboard here with the typography as a designer. There's a lot going on here, but some nice pictures we've not seen anywhere else. The price is quite nice too, but inside the bag there are a few goodies. And the promise of 60th anniversary articles and exclusives. There's an exclusive with Catherine Tate, 60th anniversary poll results, a feature on Tales from the TARDIS and Gallifrey Guardian, Other Worlds, The Fact of Fiction, all those features that are regular there in Doctor Who magazine. Priced $8.99 this month, or the digital edition is $7.99. That's there at the moment, and it's got all this tucked away inside. So are you buying the magazine at all at the moment, Simon? I can't remember if you said you picked it up now and again or not.
No, sorry, stopped buying it ages and ages and ages ago. I'll have a flick through it in Smith's these days. There was a time when I would buy it if there were a few articles in there that I was interested in. And I have to be honest, I don't even buy it for that anymore. Even if they do sort of a Robots of Death Fact of Fiction in there, I just know it's I don't know. There's just too much padding in there now. There are too many pages with too much padding in. Knock it down by half and reduce the cover price, and I'd consider it again. But I mean, an interview that back in the day would have been a couple of pages of really interesting stuff now is 6 pages, and they talk about the price of a bottle of milk. Sorry, I can live without it. Sorry.
Garbage says Tennant looks fine in that pic on the trailer. He looks terrible. No idea if they're touching up the photo or we're seeing 2 Tennants. No, I can't see that either, Shah. I'm not sure what he's picking up on.
I think he looks fantastic. That guy ages like a fine wine. I think he looks wonderful.
Yeah, it's really irritating, isn't it?
I'm sorry, Garbage. I'm not with you on that one.
Hello, Will.
Hi, Will. Hi, Peter.
Get some cream for that face of yours, mate. Yeah,
oh dear. Yeah. It's a nasty one. Cut himself shaving again.
Absolutely.
Looks like it. Yes, that's Doctor Who magazine, which is in the shops at the moment. And keep watching the channel for my Whovember unopening of it here at some point over the next few days.
You're going to unopen the magazine?
I'm going to unopen the bag and see which goodies are inside.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Sorry. I thought it was just like...
I think I will wait until you've opened it because I want to see what I'm getting for $8.99.
Total Film has a section on Doctor Who.
Vertical.
Total
Never
Film.
mind, Steve.
Total Film's done a section on Doctor Who. Yeah,
they've got exclusive images as well. Yeah, Total Film has done us proud. So have Empire and SFX. So it's getting a lot of coverage in. And I think there could be more to come as well from the mainstream. So people are noticing, aren't they?
Yeah, they're noticing. So fingers crossed that these 3, the ones that Shah and Simon can't watch, I'll be watching it though. But yeah, hopefully that's good.
Vanessa reminds us that Shah has seen Mr. Tennant up close last year, didn't you? You met him?
I have.
Yes. And he said, "Thank you, goodbye," and he kicked her out.
You paid for it, didn't you?
Oh. Why on earth did we?
Shut up! I loved it. It was a great day.
She did. And why did you do? Why did you do it? Why did you do it, Shah? Why did you go that day and have that experience?
Oh, for the love of who?
Of course it was.
I've never said that before.
There you go. You've said it now. That's what brings us all here together each time on Type 40 Live with you guys there in the live chat. Keep them for the love of God. Which film's that from, Ian?
No, but I remember saying it when Shah was saying, "Oh, can you video me when I go to see David Tennant?" I was like, "Oh, for the love of God!" So yeah,
And you still did it for me. Thank you.
Time Lord 2023 also comes to the defence of the current Doctor. Tennant looks fantastic. I also got the magazine as I'm a subscriber of Doctor Who magazine. I say I never miss it. But it has tested my loyalty of late. It's been really up and down. I don't mind admitting, but I've got hopes that it's a good issue we're going to see there. A good issue.
Going back to magazines, the GQ one. I wonder if David Tennant is actually in that short list for Man of the Year. Because I'd have been more interested. He's been Doctor Who back.
So what? I was going to say what?
I thought Man of the Year was something, something great. A man or a woman had done something.
Shooty's on the cover.
That's what I'm saying. It's stupid, right?
Ian, I don't think it's about that.
But you got to remember, Obama got not a Pulitzer. What's the other one? The famous one. Anyway, he won a prize, Nobel Prize for nothing. For nothing. He hadn't even started being a president. So you can win it for doing nothing.
Well, it's Nobel, so he didn't get a bell, basically. So there you go.
Yes, I'm a pretty dedicated reader of the magazine, but yeah, it did go through a real phase in the doldrums. They've stopped selling it there completely, Matt.
Yeah, completely. There may be a couple of newsagents that may still stock it, but not here. Nope.
Oh dear. Maybe that's a good thing. Who knows?
Shame. Several people here, I have to say, are saying they've stopped buying it for a while, but we'll pick up the 60th issues for posterity, says Wendy. Big up posterity, that's what I say. But a lot of people are out simply because of the price, which I think is more than fair. Not just in the cost of living crisis, Ian, but you've got to get, if you're not reading enough pages of it.
Yeah, over here.
yeah, there we are. So, that's in the shops now. Subscribers, of course, had it early and then plastered loads of it all over social media, which I'm dead against. But we'll be coming back to that later on in the show. Keep the comments coming, everybody. If you picked up your copy already, you let us know what you think in the comments section and whether you think Doctor Who magazine is rising to the occasion of the 60th anniversary, because it is an important time for the show, isn't it?
I'm Leela of the 17, and you should watch Type 40.
And argue with her.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't argue the word she says, not for a single moment. She can do whatever she likes. Yes, okay, so 2 weeks out from DW60, when it's all going to start happening. We mentioned earlier on that Saturday the 25th of November is the time we're going to get to see the first instalment, but some people have already seen it. A plucky lucky few have already seen it. And because this happened the other day. In fact, I've got a little video here. Check it out. Here it is. So yeah, the TARDIS materialised outside Battersea Power Station in London on the 6th of November to herald the official press screening of the opening instalment of Doctor Who's 60th anniversary event series, The Star Beast. Battersea Power Station. It's been refitted now, hasn't it, Ian? I understand there's lots of different concessions there. There's restaurants and cinemas and all sorts there.
Yeah, it's basically a mall. That's basically what it is. With flats stuck on it. Yeah. Yeah, you've been there, haven't you, Shah? You've been there.
I live 2 stops away from Battersea Power Station. I'm absolutely gutted.
Oh.
But hey,
it's really beautiful. Sorry,
it's stunning.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It looks great, and they got all these swanky flats. In fact, I think the flat on the left of that screen there you got there, above, Sting owns one of those flats above it.
Doesn't surprise me. They're absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah,
I must admit,
pretty penny as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
it looks really beautiful.
I like the fact that it's Battersea because, of course, Battersea Power Station gets some mention in the Dalek invasion of Earth for only having 3 chimneys instead of 4. So I like the fact that they've put it at Battersea.
Yeah. Wasn't that one of the cyber factories?
There you go. Brilliant.
So it used to be a dump before, and people used to call it the Dead Elephant instead of Battersea Power Station.
Why the dead elephant, mate?
It looks like an elephant that's
upside
dead.
down.
Upside down. Up. They say, we'll meet you at the Dead Elephant. And so you meet him at the Dead Elephant, basically. So, but now it's all fixed up and looking great. So no, it looks good. It looks good.
Oh, I love that picture from Dalek Invasion of Earth. Thank you, Dan. You've made my night.
Not my first barbecue, yeah. Yeah, this picture was shared by Darren Scott. And yeah, I just think it's beautiful, the way the funnels are lit up, Sarah. This is modern. Is it modern art? I'm not sure when it was built, Simon. Was it the 1920s?
Yeah, I would have said so. It's Art Deco, isn't it? I would have said. Really. Yeah.
You can go up one of the chimneys, though. You can go straight up it.
Yeah.
So like a lift.
It's an observatory now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, and also it's got some of the stuff that was there in the 20s, like the industrial stuff. So they've preserved some of the stuff there. So yeah, it's cool.
So it is 20s. It was built in the 20s then.
I think it was the 20s. Yeah.
I knew that it had been refitted or repurposed in, but I wasn't sure exactly what for. I certainly had no idea that people were living there, and I would never have guessed that there was a cinema there, because that's where this happened the other night. So this is the Archlight Cinema, which is based inside the power station, and this was the location. It looks posh, doesn't it, Simon?
It's gorgeous. It is, yeah.
I'll tell you what, the people attending though weren't posh.
It's intimate, I think, Matt. There's only half a dozen rows of seats there.
Yes.
Everybody's got their own little table, but it does look pretty cool.
I think
it looks
these
like a gold class sort of
independent
thing, so people get served and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
so these independent cinemas, they're all the same. They've got one in Selfridges now that's kind of like that, where they have the little table and the people come and serve you and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a new
recliner.
thing. Really.
It's a recliner as well.
Yeah, so it's cool.
I see. No, I expected something far larger, because in attendance, ready to take their seats, were cast and crew members, past, present, and future of Doctor Who, as well as the editors of SFX, Doctor Who magazine. And
they had a lot
other
of
members,
supposed influences there too, didn't
other
they?
members of the press. I've seen a couple of people there who are associated with the brand, the people who run the YouTube channels and things like that. I'm not aware of any actual sort of independent influences, but I could be wrong.
Sorry, Dan, there's more than one cinema in there, so it's possible they streamed them in all the cinemas. I think there's 4 cinemas.
Is there really? Oh, okay.
That is a good point. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, there's loads.
And I do know that many of the people who went have been happy to share pictures of the occasion across social media, including some of the stars. So we've got a bit of a slideshow here. Have you seen much coverage of this, Simon? Are you aware of who was there, what was going on?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit on social media. I've seen a few of the stars that were there, definitely, and it was a star-studded occasion. No two ways about it from Doctor Who point of view.
David Tennant wasn't there, was he?
No Tennant or Catherine Tate. Paul Flint says a beer each. Is that what it is? I think it's probably.
Water.
Is it
water?
Yeah.
Water, yes, water.
In a can? In a
can?
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
it's mad,
I've seen them. You get them in service stations. I saw them the other day. A can of water.
What sort of water, Sarah?
Just like sparkling water.
Oh, okay.
Of course, you can get still as well, actually. Yeah, it's weird. Water.
Time for water in a can.
Yeah.
Time Lord, I know we're living in the future, Char, living in the future. When I heard it was being shown to press members, I was so jealous this Time Lord 2023. I think we probably all were a little. Of course, greeting the press and the stars was the Meep there on the door, giving them the eyeball. He was in the middle of doing something a little bit private. He's gone to ground, but it looks like he's pretty inconspicuous.
Just don't like that.
Wow.
So cute and cuddly.
I do like that. I do like that. Yes, but it wasn't just him. Obviously, the entire crew were there. The producers. So we've got Julie Gardner and Phil Collinson. They're the returning producers of Doctor Who. The gentleman one in. I'm not entirely sure who that is. Is it Peter? I can't quite remember his name. I'll have to go and look that up. They've got Jacqueline King there, who plays Sylvia, doesn't she? She plays Donna's mum. She's back. And there's Russell T Davies and Ruth Madeley. We'll come back to her in a moment. And that's Jane Tranter there on the far right, who's the other half of the Bad Wolf equation with Julie Gardner. So that's the production team that are making this all happen.
So it's weird how they chose Battersea Power Station to screen this. Maybe the other cinemas weren't available. Usually it's either Leicester Square or I don't know, some other cinema in the West End.
Yeah, but probably had wheelchair access.
You would never.
No, but I don't. You know what? Right. The cinema is right at the top, as I explained last time. It's really. How the hell did she get that wheelchair up there?
Elevators.
There isn't, as far as I know, there isn't an elevator that takes you right up top of
crane.
You'll
get a crane.
Well, clearly is, because otherwise.
Crane.
How glamorous.
Oh, thank you. We've got a comment. We've got a comment here from our mate Rich Tipple, friend of the show. Rich, good evening, Rich. Hope you're well,
Hello,
mate.
Rich.
Who specifies that the gentleman in the really snazzy red trainers there is Joel Collins. Thank you.
Who's Joel Collins? Sorry.
He's a producer on Doctor Who.
Okay.
I've got about 4 or 5 producers.
Like shoes.
This is where Rich tells me I've got that completely wrong as well. But I'm pretty sure he is. Pretty sure he is.
No, but I can get why they did it because.
Charlotte?
I can guess why they did it at Battersea, because we know Russell loves to promote Britishness and British sort of symbols. And I'd say Battersea's become that because of like you've all said, it's got quite a unique look. It's got quite that art deco look about it. And it makes it a bit different. Like they didn't go to Leicester Square. They didn't go to the usual places. No, they went somewhere a bit more, like I said,
the space is small, though. I mean, if you've been there, you know what I mean. It's really weird how they chose that. Also, the last film that was premiered at the Battersea Power Station before all this stuff was built was Batman and Robin. So there you go. So they screened the film, screened Batman and Robin in the power station. Lord knows where, but before all of this was built. So, but if you know the space, you know it's quite small. So I'm quite surprised that they chose this. Maybe this was the only one that was available, and everything else was taken. I don't know.
Oh, come on, they would have had plenty to pick from Ian.
Yeah, but money.
I was going to say, I think it's purely because it was only a select few of people. That's the only reason.
Yeah,
so they wanted it to be small and intimate.
I suspect, and there's a couple of people. I've suspected this could be the truth, and a couple of people have said in the live chat that perhaps it could be the case that David Tennant and Catherine Tate and Yasmin Finney weren't there out of some sort of solidarity with the US actors strike, which I gather hasn't been. I gather that may have been resolved today. It's certainly been paused today. If all three of those performers are under contract to at this time to some international studio, then they may not have been able to. I don't know, so it'd be unfair of me to say for definite.
What, right? I will drag Shah with me, and we'll go there and we'll video the cinema. And you can see how small the space is.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah. So I'm surprised they decked
it out with cuddly little creatures. This is a picture from Crystal D. She shared this over on Twitter. I just thought this was lovely. Yeah. Who are the others? Who else is there, Matt? Do you think that's meant to be a Nestine there, one down? A Yeti on the top?
I think probably one of there's a couple of spiders there.
Surely those are ood, aren't those ood?
Is that Brain and Morbius down the end, down the bottom there?
That's okay. It's more like Candyman down the bottom right, maybe. I don't know.
Oh God.
No, I think you're right about the ood. Whoever said the ood, I'm convinced that's a Yeti on the top.
Yeah, I think you're right. An adipose, second down.
Adipose, yeah.
We're getting them.
Squashy stuff that was in that episode with David Tennant, where the fat was coming out of people. That's the one. Right, isn't it?
It's hilarious, isn't it?
That's the badger. Yes, I think this is when you've got a venue like this. Yeah, it's just add little flourishes there of who-ness. I think that's quite nice. But I was wondering, do we think the reason why they chose Battersea Power Station is because the Star Beast in particular? A lot of the action takes place in Camden. It shows Camden off. We've seen beautiful pictures, haven't we, Charlotte, in the trailers and from the location. We know that they shot around some real landmark sites. So maybe it's a way of tapping into the Londonness of that opening episode.
Well, yeah, I remember Rose the first time when I watched it. And you notice the amount of iconography Russell got into it with the buses and just the city itself, even though I don't know London that well. I've been probably twice. So I know Russell's got an eye for this and he likes to do it. So I just think that's what he's done here, honestly.
But people in London, they knew it wasn't London when they were watching the episode, like me. So here you go. But yeah. I know what you mean. He loves to iconicity of doctors and of England as well. So yeah. Ooh, Perry.
You're Nicola Bryant there on the blue carpet, not the red carpet here. We've got a blue carpet, TARDIS blue.
Obviously, yeah.
Quite right, of course.
Doesn't she look gorgeous as well?
I don't know where they shot that though. That can't be up in the cinema because that's
downstairs in the reception.
It's probably.
Yeah, it'll be in the reception bay.
Yeah.
Very nice. So it's not just the stars of current Doctor Who. We've got some stars of classic Doctor Who that were there too. So it all adds to that kind of intimate feel. Too intimate for Beep. Couldn't get much privacy the entire night there. Got a picture of Colin and Nicola together as well. We've just seen them reunited in Tales from the TARDIS just last week, Sarah, and there they are again. Firm friends, getting one down, and this is what you want to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always lovely to see, and yeah, it's just lovely that they are all still in touch and are friends. It just warms my heart, and Nicola looks fantastic, and Colin does. When he's not wearing brightly coloured clothes, he looks really smart and dashing.
He does, doesn't he? He definitely does, yeah.
And again, it goes along with what we were saying about seeing the 1982 crew together. It's just nice to see these people still together, still enjoying each other's company. It really, I don't know, for me, as I say, it just totally legitimizes that what was on screen back in the day. You don't feel as though you're being sort of cheated out of your sort of memories and your love of the show by suddenly finding out that they absolutely hated each other backstage. You know what I mean? It just gives you that warm glow, and that's one of the things that Doctor Who is about, is that warm glow.
I bet they had a warm glow after another couple more of those glasses there, Simon. Because by the time by the time Colin had caught up with Will Sylvester, they both look a little worse for wear, I don't mind telling you.
Oh,
I love the fact that Sylvester's pointing down to those Crocs.
Amazing.
Those look like designer Crocs, Shah. I'm not a Crocs expert, but he's one of our fashion correspondents. Are those standard issue, or are those particular to celebrities?
You've plucked the fashion correspondent out of thin air, but I've never owned a pair of Crocs in my life, and I'm getting to the age where I'm thinking, I know, but they do look dead comfy though, don't they? I feel like if I got that, I'd rather have the waistcoat, if I'm being honest. I love
it's got that Da Vinci waistcoat, isn't it? It's the Da Vinci. It's the Da Vinci painting, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was
Van Gogh. Sorry.
It's when he painted the TARDIS exploding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Seeing, I never get tired of seeing the Doctors, particularly the classic Doctors, together like this. I mean, I know there was never any animosity between Colin and Sylvester, but obviously that was a really tumultuous time, and yet you do see them larking about together quite a lot, and they always seem thick as thieves. And I just love this. And when we saw Sylvester in Derby at Hooverville, Simon, he did look really well, didn't he? He was springing his step and all that kind of thing. So that was lovely. But here, this is a different kettle of fish altogether. Like you say, proper in the middle of where it's at. And both of these gentlemen, they're both 80 years of age, but still able to bring it. To light up a room like this.
Yeah, and it just reminds me why I love Doctor Who, because Doctor Who is more than just what you see on screen. Again, it was just what I was saying about, and it's the family. I know it's such an overused term, but the Doctor Who stars have always called it a family, and you can see it clearly is. And part of that is because they've always bumped into each other so many times over so many years at so many conventions. That's what's built it. Yeah, they've bonded. But as I say, it's just lovely to see, and it makes me realise why I love Doctor Who so much. It's a contributory factor. And look at that photo. I mean, that's brilliant photo.
Wendy Padbury, Katie Manning, Matt there with Nicola and Janet Fielding and Phil Collinson, who's also all smiles. I'm trying to think, is he holding them up or are they holding him up? I think it's probably the latter.
I think it's a group. I think it's a group effort. Yeah, it's a group effort.
I'm impressed at Katie Manning's heels. If she's been drinking.
She looks great, doesn't she, Sarah?
She does. She's fantastic.
She looks fabulous. She had a birthday.
They all do, though. All the women. Well, and the men.
They do.
Yeah, and do you know what I find lovely? That in the latest piece of Doctor Who, they've got so much of the classic cast there to sort of celebrate it and to be seen and to be as part of it, because I think a lot of New Who had this issue at times that they'd have these big events, whether it's a premiere or a press launch, and it would only be the actors from that series that you'd see. Yeah. So it's nice that in this event it's been proper extended, that we've got from all eras of classic, pretty much.
That really started from the 50th, didn't it? Where they started bringing in previous companions.
Words out of my mouth, because I will never, ever be able to be okay with the fact that the 50th anniversary was not a celebration of 50 years. And it really bugs me every time. So
I agree with you. I agree with you, Shah. And this goes along with what I was saying a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about Tales of the TARDIS. Although I didn't like those Tales of the TARDIS, what I said I did like about it was the fact that the show finally, New Who, in inverted commas, feels like it's truly, properly acknowledging the classic run, which it never really felt like it did before. It feels like it's embracing it now. It feels like it's made its peace. It feels like it's established itself. So it can bring Classic Who back into the fold which it needed to do, and that's what I love about it. I love.
Simon, you could say in from the cold. Speaking of which, Janet Fielding is layering up here in a really nice cardigan, I think that is. That, again, I just love Janet Fielding. We all know that this woman, she's got a barbed tongue, but that's a really warm smile, even if she does look like she can't wait to get in and to get the heating turned up a little bit.
Fair. Do you know what I love? And I'm sorry, I'm sorry. This actually probably really isn't anything to do with it. No, forget it. I'm doing it anyway. I just love how good that logo looks. I think a couple of people might have said it in the chat. I'm sure they must have, but I just love how it looks. It just looks great. It looks like Doctor Who, and I'm just so happy.
It does.
Just looks perfect.
And she matches it. If you look at the colour scheme, she actually matches the logo.
She does. She does.
Yeah.
I get such a kick out of seeing the cast of Doctor Who from when I was a kid just involved in this, just as you said, Simon. It's not that I ever felt that they weren't legitimate, but it did feel like it was all a little bit at arm's length.
That's it. They felt a little bit sidelined. And I do get that. New Who had to establish itself and sort of establish its own identity. And that's why it feels like it's now comfortable enough with itself to acknowledge and embrace the classic years.
Well, I think it's even more than that, Simon. I think New Who needed Classic Who more than Classic Who needed
you're right.
New Who, especially in the past. I mean, let's be honest, it's Classic Who that's been propping sales up with the Blu-rays and the figures.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, it's only right to nod to both Rich Tipple and Kieran Hyman, both in the chat there. I know that Rich has certainly done a lot of work on those Blu-ray sets, restoring film footage, elements that was in quite a state. And it's to the expertise of these gentlemen and their colleagues that we can all enjoy those episodes looking better than ever there on Blu-ray. Also looking better than ever, I feel, is another Doctor Who legend. Carol Ann Ford was there too, everybody.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, that sent the tongues wagging, I tell you.
Why do you think, Matt?
I don't know.
We've only talked about it about 8 times this year, haven't we? What do you think, Matt? Do you think it's likely she was there? There's been speculation. Could she be coming back?
We'd all love it, wouldn't we? I mean, seriously, that would be the moment, wouldn't it? That'd just
I think
that'd just blow the internet up. I think. I think that would blow up everything.
What century is she in though? I can't recall right off the top of my head.
Oh, she come back.
Well, I think she's 50.
I suppose it doesn't matter,
She's a time
lady. It didn't matter with the 5 Doctors, so
it doesn't matter.
Very true. Very true, yeah.
It depends, of course, on whether we're going to consider the audios as canon too. A lot can happen in Doctor Who, and a lot could have happened to this character in the meantime to Susan Foreman. We've speculated about it on this show so many times this year. The rumours have never really gone away. I certainly made a video diary about it all. I was just captivated by the idea, and it does seem to be the most obvious thing that the fans have never been given that we want. We got William Russell in the last episode of Doctor Who that was screened. Give us Carol Ann Ford, please, Russell. If we all wish hard enough, maybe we will. Maybe she'll appear. Maybe we'll get that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right, does it, that she hasn't been involved? It just seems weird because I feel like she'd be so up for it. And every time that there's been like a, I don't know, some sort of documentary or there's been something going on, she's always been involved. So why not? I would have loved to have seen her with the 12th Doctor. That would have been
and again, always smiling, always has something new to say as well, even after 60 years. I don't think I've ever heard or read the same interview with Carol Ann Ford twice, Simon. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, and she's been kicking around doing the circuit for so long. She's always stayed truthful to the show and faithful to the show. And I've mentioned this a couple of times when she was at Capitol a couple of years ago, and they gave her a lifetime achievement award or outstanding achievement award, and she was in tears. She was just so touched to get this. So again, as you say, Dan, after 60 years in the role, and yet she still stays truthful to it, and it still clearly means so much to her. If she's not in the 60th somewhere, it will be criminal. We'll never forget.
Simon Ashley's meeting Carol and Dorica in Bristol this weekend, Charlotte.
Oh, that's brilliant, Simon. Please take a photo if you can.
Yeah, we need photos.
No,
Get her to say hello to us.
Yeah.
No, it's like, just I want her
Welcome
to
to
be
Type
there.
40.
Hang on a sec. Charlotte?
No, I've said I want her to be there. I think it'd be lovely, but I'm almost now at the stage where I'm like, don't think about it.
Yeah.
Because then I won't get disappointed.
That's
if she's
true.
not there.
Sorry, Ian, what were you saying?
No, just saying, get her to say, welcome to Type 40.
Yeah, we need that.
We do. I'm also really pleased to see Jacqueline King there as well. I love this character. I think we probably all did. A fun supporting character from the original Russell T Davies era. She has played Sylvia Noble on audio, and she always seems very happy to come back to the role. And she, again, beautifully dressed, and seems to be having a good time there with her castmates. So I did enjoy seeing her there as well. Sarah, this is a time in the show that holds so many precious memories to you, doesn't it? How do you feel seeing the cast members of the new stuff there as well as the old stuff?
Oh, yeah, it's an absolute joy. It's just seeing all my favourite people together, really. But yeah, there's just something really cozy and homely about, like everyone. It's like, it feels like, the Stolen Earth and Journey's End, the timelines are converging on this one, it's pulling everybody in. Yeah. Again, another beautiful photo of Carol and
how old is Carol Ann now?
70.
Old enough.
78?
Yeah, no, 77. It must be late 70s by now. Yeah, because she might even be 80, bless her.
I think she's about 80.
I think she's about 80, bless her. I think she was about 20.
Would have been about
20.
Obviously, Sylvester turned 80 earlier this year. I know. I just noticed that Sylvester seems to have TARDIS cufflinks. How slick is that?
He's so cool.
He's a cool dude, isn't he?
He is so cool. I'd love him to be my granddad. Another one.
Darren Bradley in the live chat says the Caroline Ford's turned 83.
No way.
Oh, that is crazy.
But it's interesting, looking at these photos, there's something just unique about Doctor Who, isn't there? And
there is.
And about the people that have been in Doctor Who. They're all kind of eccentrics in their own best way, in the best way that the best people are eccentrics. And they're just so unique to Doctor Who. It just has got, we've said it before, it was lightning in a bottle. And you see these photos and you kind of realise that there's something special about Doctor Who. No two ways about it.
Got a feeling it's really cold there. She's wearing gloves. This guy's got
Murray.
Yeah, that's Murray Gold, returning composer, Sarah.
Yeah, looking very dapper. I just love a man in a suit. I can't help it. Waistcoat, everybody just looks gorgeous.
Yeah, you can tell it's summer because I'm not wearing a beanie.
It's the only picture I've seen of Murray Gold there. I didn't even know he was there. But again, looks like he needs something warm inside him to go back out into the cold there. Do like that.
I would pass him in the street. I wouldn't even know. This is the first time I've seen
Murray
Gold.
Really? No, I spot him a mile away. I remember I went to one of the symphonic concerts, and Stephen Moffat and Murray Gold were in the audience, and I could spot them because it was. I looked round, and it was like a poodle and a whippet sat next to each other. Really distinctive looking.
Fabulous stuff. We've got this one too of Russell T Davies with the two doctors, with Sylvester and Colin. Do like this. Big smiles all around. Well, little smile if you're Sylvester.
I love Russell because he smiles like me, that kind of Wallace smile.
It always looks like he's in pain. Or he's dropped one.
Yeah.
He also was photographed with Stephen Powell, who's the host of Doctor Who Unleashed. That's the BBC Three spin-off sister show, Doctor Who Confidential, reinvented for 2023. So he was there as well. I don't know if they shot any footage there. I'd say they probably did. But more pictures again with Beep the Meat. Beep the Meat was getting more photo opportunities than anybody else.
Robo Man behind him.
Yeah,
kind of.
I have no idea who that is.
Actually, maybe it is, because maybe they're tapping into that Dalek Invasion of Earth vibe deliberately for that.
Wow.
Well, no, I think that's one of the new unit soldiers.
Oh, is there?
Oh, yeah, it could be Charlotte, yeah.
Just destroyed Simon in one sentence.
I was so excited
great.
for 1 second there.
The actress Ruth Madeley was there. who plays the character of Shirley Bingham in the specials, who we think works for Unit. She's been in several drama shows. Now she's done some Big Finish stuff too. But we've yet to meet her character, so obviously it's hard to get a feel for her, isn't it? But I've certainly been following.
I think she's playing the therapist.
She's a great actress. She is. She's really good.
I've not seen her yet. Looking forward to it though. Very much looking forward to it. And she looked very, very happy in the videos and the photos and things. There she is with Russell.
Drink all she
well.
wants, couldn't she?
She could. I'm sure they all got a few down.
That's a lovely
Even
photo.
Russell's got his coat on. It must be really cold there.
He's always got a great big coat on.
It was freezing a few days ago. It was horrible.
Yeah,
it was freezing. Yeah.
He was there with Sophie Aldred as well. Sophie went in sort of cosplay.
Is that recent?
Yeah.
This was on Monday.
It's on the 6th.
Is she cosplaying as Sylvester? What's going on?
Love that.
The idea, she cosplayed as the 7th Doctor at the Who event.
Cool.
With fabulous knitwear. I don't know if she knitted that herself. I think it's unlikely. But it depends on how long she had
I find the hair slightly disturbing.
Yeah, I prefer the other.
Good on her.
Yeah, she's gone for the Sylvester look. Definitely, she's even got the
bit like
matching shoes.
Matt Smith, doesn't she, with the hair?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Very different from when we were talking to her in Derby the other week, isn't she? But I think she pulls that off. I think that's quite a distinctive look.
I love those shoes.
Lovely woman. Lovely woman.
I'm sure Sylvester was flattered as well. I haven't got a picture of her with Sylvester, but I'm sure that he saw and would have approved. Wendy Padbury was there too, of course, looking fabulous and glamorous.
She looked great, doesn't she?
How old is Wendy then?
She's got to be the other side of 70.
She just looks absolutely gorgeous.
She just looks
really pulls off grey hair, doesn't she? She looks fabulous.
Yeah.
And she looks so identifiable to how she doesn't look that different to how she was when she was in the show. She's just so immediately identifiable.
I don't think she can fit a catsuit now.
Do you think?
Look at her.
Do you think that it's the fact that they tended to employ actresses in particular who looked quite youthful, particularly in the 60s when they were kind of actual granddaughters or surrogate granddaughters and nieces for the Doctor, for the first couple of Doctors in particular. So they went for women who had those kind of features. Is that a thing, or is that my imagination?
I think that's probably a fair point. Yeah, I think they did.
I've always felt that they were going for dolly birds. You know, those sort of.
That was the time, though.
I don't think there was ever any ugly women on screen at that time, was there?
So that's what they were doing in those days, though, weren't they? They were trying to attract the male audience.
The male gaze. Yeah.
Oh, God, I wasn't going to say that, but hey.
See, I think that the kind of dolly bird thing was more a 70s thing. Not that I can't call Elizabeth Sladen particularly a dolly bird, but I think that there's a different look to the women from that.
I don't think they really had a dolly bird until Polly came along.
Yeah, I would have said that probably. But I mean, the others were kind of, very.
Yeah.
Yes, young.
Earth, I would have said.
They were meant to be, well, not children, but
definitely.
Adolescents, especially Susan and Vicky and Dodo.
I think especially with Susan and some of the second Doctor, it was almost a sense of vulnerability, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
With a lot of the female companions.
Yeah.
I think they definitely wanted. So if there was a scary moment or a moment when they got scared, then you could have that moment. Like we've all said, that thing with that moment in Tomb, which we all love with Pat, because he does have that vibe of a grandfather saying, "No, you're going to be okay," and that's sort of what we remember.
Science fiction was aimed at men pretty much only in those days, says Carol Jude, and men like pretty girls.
Still is to a degree.
Absolutely fine. I'm not sure how long the nibbles lasted. Exactly what was in those bags. Looks like sort of
jelly babies.
Should have been jelly babies.
Gotta be.
Yeah, it'd have to be.
I think it
or
could have been
Jaffa cakes, one or the other.
Some sort of cookie. That's what it looks like to me. But it does seem that a good time was had by all, and they were holding one another up by closing time. But it's a far cry, isn't it, from the kind of press calls that would have been standard back in the day, let alone 60 years ago when the show was first coming to the screen. This picture here of the cast of Doctor Who meeting the press for the very first time back in the autumn of 63, Simon.
Oh, that makes me go a little bit gooey. Actually, that does. That's just sent shivers down my spine. That has, because I'm really glad you showed that, because that just connects right back and just resonates with exactly what I'm saying about how special Doctor Who is. And look at that through the years, 60 years on, and that just isn't that just a lovely photo?
I love it.
Just the best. And that, of course, would have been before they even knew whether it was going to be successful or not. So they had no idea that we'd still be sitting here now, 60 years later, looking at that photo. That really
what I love about this as well is that they're all engaging with one another. I mean, William Russell's eyeline, I don't know if he's looking at her glass, if he's looking at Jacqueline. But Jacqueline Hill was a very, very beautiful woman. And I love the fact that Carol...
I was just saying,
Sure.
Yeah. No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I literally was just looking at it thinking, my God, how can one woman be so gorgeous? How beautiful is Jacqueline Howard? I'm always in awe of her.
She's just stunning, isn't she? She's just got that
class
look.
That's what it is. It's class, yeah.
And obviously, all the anecdotes that we hear about how grumpy William Hartnell was, and look at that's a real warm smile on his face, hand open. His eyes are even though this is in black and white, even though it's a profile shot, his eyes are lighting up, and they're all engaged in conversation. And it looks like it's a genuine time traveler there as well. Because if you look in his top pocket, that looks like a smartphone there in Hartnell's.
It's a hip glasses.
Yeah, so there she was on the first night, Carol Ann Ford, and she was there with Russell T Davies there that night. And he put this up on Instagram, Doctor Who Old and New, and we are all agreed last night there is no old and new anymore. The Whoniverse has made this one great big family, and that includes you. And a heart emoji him there with Carol Ann
He's even
Ford.
got her fingernails, blue TARDIS.
Yeah.
She's so stylish.
Oh, look at that! That's lovely to see Carol there with Verity Lambert. That's just.
I love the symmetry of this, Simon. I love the sentiment of Russell's beautifully chosen words there.
That is a lovely quote by Russell.
It is lovely, and you know, let's be no doubt about it. It was Russell, as much as anybody, who distanced New Who from classic Who when it was relaunched in 2005. But you know, that doesn't matter when he puts something like that up. That just gives me goosebumps, because he's acknowledging that not that he did anything wrong back in the day, because I would think it's fair that he didn't, but the times have changed, and now it's all come back home, and quite right too.
This is such a warm and fuzzy, and I'm not trying to get very saccharine or anything like that, but it's just so beautiful. I'm loving this stream so far. It really is. Look at us all here together. Look at the chat. And we're all here for the same reason, because of those people that started it. And I just
and it comes through the photos as well. You can tell it's genuine. It's not, forced, posed. Picture.
They all want to be there, don't they, Sarah?
Yes, it's like the way they're all got an arm around each other, or they're sort of very close, or it's that sort of family vibe. And without harping on, we've all said that's been missing for a while.
Yes.
That feeling of a family and a cast that isn't just there because they work together. It's a cast that just they adore each other and they want to be there.
Isn't it interesting, Charlotte, that you can't imagine something like this, these photos that we're now looking at, you can't imagine that happening 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It just wouldn't have fitted somehow. It just would have felt a little bit off.
They were hammering it home that it was a fam, even though they wouldn't say it was a family, it was a fam to them. And it still didn't show it was a family, That's the weird thing. Now,
we were told they were a family. We were never sure it never felt.
That's it.
And the family will all be there in front of the telly come Saturday, the 25th of November for the Star Beast. We'll all get to see it then, not just the lucky few who were there in the cinema there with the production crew and the cast. Kicks off on Saturday the 25th at 6:30 p.m. on BBC One for a full hour before we all head over to BBC Three for a further half an hour's worth of Doctor Who Unleashed. And there are two 2-3 weeks, concentrated Doctor Who every Saturday. My God, yeah, starting with the Star Beast there. Can't wait for this. Fabulous posters. I still love looking at these. We've got the Star Beast on the 25th, and then Wild Blue Yonder on the 2nd of December, and it all finishes on the 9th of December there with the Giggle Shot. I know we haven't got long to wait until we're going to have the answers to even more questions as the 60th anniversary finally reaches our screens. My God, so much excitement. Ian, when I get this excited, there's only one thing on my mind.
Go for a wee-wee.
Yeah, I'm getting up there. I'm getting up there in age, mate. I can't take any more.
It's excitement, isn't it? Yeah.
For a wee-wee.
Sorry, you have to excuse me, everybody. Time for a couple of golden moments with golden voices and golden faces from Doctor Who's long distinguished past with classic and new faces, all one big family now. Just as Russell T Davies said, I think that when Russell put out that statement, he was thinking of the Type 40 Live ad break. Of course he was.
Haven't you gone yet? Are you trying to get rid of me? No, of course not. You're up to something. I can tell. Come on, out with it.
I'm making a Nescafe commercial.
On your own? Well, we always do them together.
Not this one, Richard.
Why not?
It's about those precious moments when everyone's gone out for the day, and I can enjoy my Nescafe in peace.
Oh, can't we both enjoy it?
No.
Nescafe. Coffee at its best. Couldn't I just stay for the bean shake?
Before you can buy a house that's right for you, you need a mortgage you can feel at home with. That's why TSB will always try to put together a mortgage that's as individual as you are. So when you find a house that's really you, you know where to come for a mortgage, don't you? TSB, we want you to say yes.
Take the challenge to create the ultimate sonic screwdriver. This amazing set includes 3 sonic screwdrivers. Mix and match the sections with over 80 combinations, including multiple lights and sound effects. Have hours of fun with the Doctor Who Personalise Your Sonic Screwdriver set.
From character.
Please, play one last game. For the car.
Not the Toyota.
There aren't many of them on the road. And it's very fast.
Tell you it runs on 2-star petrol.
Στέφανε, γε μου, το παιδί που έχασα. Παπά.
Welcome back to Type 40 Live, your live stream Doctor Who magazine show, clocking all the fixed and not so fixed points in the Whoniverse, both on and off screen. I'm still here, not just with Karen, getting one downer. We've got the panel here too. We've got Starry-Eyed Girl Sarah Graham, Simon Horton, Charlotte Shields, Ian David Dears, the Mega Geek, Shah from Geek Rambles in the corner, and right at the bottom, as always, Mr. Matt Pott. Some of them, most of them are here.
They're not back.
Yeah, they are. A lot more to get stuck into. Every Dan Hadley, Birmingham's King of the Geeks, and wherever you're watching us on YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook, it wouldn't be the same without you. Of course, it wouldn't. Keep the comments coming, everybody. We need to know what you think of all of this. Please like the video too. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Check you're still subscribed, and hit that cloister bell to get all the notifications about what we're doing next and when we're doing it, of course. Okay, this one's been a little while coming, hasn't it, everybody? So last week, just as we're broadcasting last Thursday's edition of Type 40 Live, we got news that was breaking of something we'd heard a couple of whispers of, sort of, and every one of us on the panel was sort of reacted in very, very different ways. Some of us went to Google to find out as much as we possibly could about the who's and the whens and the hows behind this announcement. But eventually, it did all become pretty clear that the Doctor Who's 60th anniversary birth date itself, the 23rd of November, would, after all, deliver something special, a 21st century take on one of the series' best loved serials. Simon, we've been planning to talk about this for a whole week. We didn't know we'd be speaking about it in front of some of the gentlemen who were involved in it. So no pressure, but yeah, welcome Kieran and Rich, and congratulations, obviously. But I think that as a fandom, just to back up a little bit, there was a bit of a feeling in the fandom that it was going to be all about now and 2023 from the BBC for the 60th anniversary, and that nothing would be done that would reach back right to the very beginnings of the show, wasn't there? And you could see why people would feel that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it would have been quite reasonable to not expect something reaching right back to the beginning. It's something we've been talking about for ages, that we feel it should. Maybe they were watching the show. I don't think. I wouldn't like to think that we could actually take any credit for any of this. But yeah, I can see why it might not have. Why it might have been overlooked. And thank goodness they haven't overlooked it. It's brilliant news.
I mean, the thing is, Doctor Who made for, if you go back and you read the magazines and the accounts of what viewers were saying back then, in 1963, right from the start, it made arresting viewing. But it wouldn't be accurate to claim that the series had been this massive overnight success. I mean, the opening 4-part serial by Anthony Coburn had caught people's attention, but it wasn't until the following story that Doctor Who's longevity and real stellar popular success was really captured, was it? It became a pop culture phenomena as Terry Nation's 7-week trek backwards and forwards across the dead planet of Skaro, as that story in particular played out. So again, it wasn't quite the first night, the second night. And so this serial is very, very special, isn't it?
I think it's fair to say there's a reasonably good argument that we would not be sitting here now talking about Doctor Who if it wasn't for that 7-part serial. It might have taken off. Who can say? It's a sliding doors moment. We'll never know. But I think there's a reasonably good case to say that it wouldn't have taken off had it not been for the Daleks, because there's no denying it was this serial that cemented it firmly. Well, it turned it, I think, from probably what was a reasonably popular show with those first 4 episodes suddenly into a phenomenon that everybody was suddenly talking about and obsessed with. And so this is what firmly put Doctor Who on the map, no doubt about it.
And now on the 60th anniversary date itself, over on BBC4, we're going to get a brand new 75-minute colorized edit of the classic adventure, The Daleks, The Dead Planet. It's going to premiere on BBC4 at 7:30 p.m. So BBC4 is, as I think I've described it before, as BBC's sort of arts channel now. BBC4 is the new BBC Two. That's very much how I see it. And the story, here's the little blurb for the people who can't remember. The story follows the very first crew of the TARDIS as they land in a petrified forest on an alien planet. Determined to explore, the Doctor leads his companions into the Metal City, where they discover danger at every corner and what will become his deadliest enemies, the mutant Dalek. All 7 episodes have existed in the archives consistently, haven't they? I understand they were going to be junked at one point. They were saved from destruction by Ian Levine, thank heaven.
Yes. We should actually pause it just for a sec. You're quite right, Dan, to thank Ian Levine, because if it wasn't for Ian Levine, we would not have the Daleks in the archive. And so it is thanks to him that we can still watch this story.
To be handed over all 7 episodes to Richard Tipple and Kieran Hyman and all the team that have been working on this to create this brand new 75-minute sort of blockbuster edition. Really, I suppose it's the idea will be, I would say, it's not just something extra and a present to us, the fans, or even a kiss back to the past. But I suppose the idea is to give it a new lease of life. for a modern audience. I mean, what do you think, Sarah, as somebody who's been discovering the classic show in piecemeal form for the last few years, the black and white and the colour stuff? It's an audacious thing to do, isn't it? To go back to a piece of vintage TV and to use it to create something the same but new.
It is, and you've got to have faith in what you're doing, and I think this team knows exactly what it's doing, and this is the correct story. I think if you was going to pick a classic era and a Hartnell story, this is absolutely the right one, because the Daleks are so iconic, and everything, the city, the Thals, everything. There's so many firsts in this story. In fact, it's really funny because I actually watched this today because I thought, I want it fresh in my memory. I usually watch it maybe once every year, but
really?
I wanted it fresh in my memory for this occasion, so I can remember what the music is like, what's going to get cut out, because I'm very curious about how it's going to be streamlined. I think it's going to work beautifully, because it is, as much as us diehard fans love this 7 episodes, it is pushing, and it does slog in the middle. As soon as the falls turn up, I think, once we get them introductions, there's a lot of dialogue and things.
I think it's of its time. It's of its time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was serialized over the best part of 2 months. This didn't finish until the February of 1964.
And it wasn't designed to be it wasn't designed to be binged. It was designed
no, of course
to be
not. It was designed to keep people on the edge of their seats and to guarantee they'd be there the very next Saturday. It was that simple, wasn't it?
And and it worked. It clearly worked. And so I think this edit, it's been filmed, for this reason, for it to be filmed as as like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And and I've been watching the Tales of the TARDIS, like omnibuses, and they work really well. In particular, the Curse of Fenric one played really well. I don't know if anybody's watched that version. It played really well as like a movie edit, and I think if this is going to bring in the new fans who maybe are put off by black and white, who are put off by the length, but are curious, about this episode on the Dalek. I mean, everybody loves,
because some are daunted by a 2.5 hour runtime, aren't they? And although I'm not a binge watcher by nature either, Shah, I like to watch these in bits and bobs, but it's the easiest thing in the world, isn't it, to flop down on the sofa, to, particularly now they're all on BritBox, and to hit play, and for one to run into another, and before you know it, you're 4 or 5 episodes deep into one of these things.
We really are, but we're in the age now where we do that, whether we're, like you said, Dan, whether you do it by nature or not. And I'm one of those people. I sat down and just watched and watched and watched. Thank God they're on the iPlayer. I just loved it all. Just to be able to see it, and just there were a lot of firsts in there for me. Obviously, I won't go into them right now. It's not the time, place. But yeah, I think it's wonderful that it's coming back. It's going to be in colour. I mean, it's I've always loved the beauty of black and white, but I think to have it in color and to have it restored to a certain extent, to have the choice, is wonderful, and I'm really, really excited to see what they're going to do with it, because I love that story very much.
People are speculating in the live chat as well here about how things are going to look. The forest will look great in this, I think, then to lead into the city. Ian?
Yeah. Can I ask a question? Is it just been colorized, or did they fix anything in it?
We don't know at this stage,
Right.
but I'm not in any doubt at all that it will have been restored, and they will have corrected if there are any little glitches in there.
Okay,
They'll have
sorry.
done stuff.
Because
And I would have
the
thought
gentlemen who've been working on it, Simon, as we said earlier on, they've been working on the material on the Blu-ray releases to, in part, fix elements that have been damaged by time or storage. So they've got a track record for working with archive material. So I can't imagine. And obviously, we've had them on the show a couple of times. So they leave no stone unturned.
That's good.
Really, it's painstaking over a long period of time. Obviously, we're not privy to the details of how long they've had and how much time, how much money, what the resources were for this particular project. but I can safely say that this material could be in no safer hands than certainly the two guys that I've spoken to. And there's a third gentleman in the chat too, who we've also dealt with, Who Colour is also in the live chat. So these guys, if they can't do it, nobody can. John Yulden says, personally, I think it will look great in colour, Charlotte. But others, I'm not too sure. Like Web of Fear, for example, is so atmospheric in black and white. I couldn't imagine it very good in colour. But there is something about this, perhaps, Charlotte.
Yeah, I've sort of got 2 points, and I'll say the first one quickly. I'm wondering now if almost BBC are thinking, let's put this on BBC 4, because this is the first time they've televised a colorized story on one of their channels.
Yeah.
So I kind of think, are they going to look at this and maybe in the future do more?
Who can say?
It's hard to say, I suppose.
Well, I think if it's a success, perhaps
we do
again,
know
the cost, I suppose, and the time.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a quote here, so we know that they've been working on this for around a year. And Rich Tipple, he said this. This is Rich on the left, and that's Kieran on the right. And Rich said, keeping this secret has been a challenge. The Daleks in colour will be broadcast on the 23rd of November, Doctor Who's 60th anniversary on BBC 4. I'm really proud to be lead colorization artist on this, working with the incredible talents like Kieran Hyman, Scott Burdett, Timothy K. Brown, Ben Cook, Phil Collinson, and the boss Russell T. Davies. And so I think it's been at least a year. I think we've got a quote from Phil Collinson, actually. Where's that? I've got a quote from Phil Collinson here too, where I'm sure he mentions a time scale. And yes, that's right. Phil Collinson said, it's been my absolute pleasure to spend this last 12 months working with such a talented team to breathe new life into this classic adventure, a story that is literally the foundation stone of all that Doctor Who has become. Just like you said, Simon. That's exactly what you were pointing to. The original is a masterpiece of 1960s television drama, and this new version stands on the shoulders of the pioneering spirit of 1960s Doctor Who. Well said, Phil.
And the truth is, we've talked about the fact that, it's cut down to 75 minutes, and yet it does get a bit flabby in the middle. But the first 2 episodes in particular, I really do think are as good as Doctor Who ever gets. I'm hoping they have those down because they're just stunning. I mean, the first episode in particular, all it's got in is the 4 main cast for 25 minutes. That's it. It's just an incredible piece of television. And I've already said in the chat to the guys, Who Colour and Richard and Kieran, this is, undoubtedly the thing that I personally am the most excited about in the anniversary year so far.
Do you know if they've upscaled it as well?
We don't know, but I'm guessing that they will have done some work to
I think they said that they did in the chat.
Yeah, I think they said they rescanned it from the archive, one of the episodes.
Yeah, because this story is like it's like the Goldfinger of James Bond, isn't it? Goldfinger was the president. This one is definitely with the Daleks, introduction of the Daleks and how that changed the face of Doctor Who. People noticed it because of the Daleks. So it's the thing that made Doctor Who. Put it that way.
And it is also just those images that you put on screen now, Dan. It is perfect for colorization because it's such a visual story. I mean, just those photos there prove it's such a visual story, and so it just is ripe for colorization. And for people, and I know there's a couple of people in the chat that sort of said, "Oh no, I'm not sure about this. It should stay pure and black and white." You just don't have. It's one of those things you don't have to tune into it if you don't want to. You stick with your black and white original, and that's good. That's right for you. That's perfect because it's not a replacement.
Oh yeah, literally, I was going to say that, Simon. Nobody's replacing anything.
Not
it's just,
and that's not the point of this.
I do like it when Doctor Who gets updated with effects and colorization and stuff like that. I do, with my Peter Davison box set and also the John Pertwee box set. I always gravitate towards the ones that have been corrected, and that's been the effects have been redone. Rather than the original, for me anyway, and a lot of people love the original the way it looks.
It's just about having the choices and having both versions there. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's true.
nod to Who Colour in the live chat, who says for him it's been a labour of love. I'm so ridiculously excited for everyone to see. Congratulations, Who Colour. We've spoken privately a few times over the last couple of years, haven't we? I'm delighted for you. I didn't realise you were involved in this. I couldn't be more thrilled for you. Well done.
Yeah, we're excited to see it.
We are. And it was bizarre because literally at 8 o'clock last Thursday, just as we were going live, suddenly the news was starting to break, and we were all doing the show, and we're all just getting this information literally as it came in live. And for me personally, it just was I was like a kid in a candy shop all of a sudden, because again we'd been talking about it for so long. I remember we talked many times over many months about wouldn't it be great on the 60th if they did a colorized episode. I think we talked about maybe an Unearthly Child. And I still wonder if maybe that's been colorized as well. Who knows? We don't know what's been going on behind the scenes. But we talked about it, a lot about having a colorized story for the 60th. So it was almost like we kind of half expected it to happen, but didn't actually seriously expect it to happen. So to suddenly get the news out of the blue, it was knockout. So thank you to everybody that's worked on it. I haven't seen it yet,
and
but I know.
Thank you. I want to thank Rich as well for indulging our questions. Ian, this one's for you. Yes, the footage has been restored. Wow. Episode 7 was taken out of the archive and was rescanned completely.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Because I'm right in thinking I think episode 7 is held in its original broadcast form, as I recall.
I hope this comes out in Blu-ray.
It will do to be on the season 1 box set.
People are asking. I'd like to think it will get an individual release before,
I think it will.
Before a box set.
The more I think about this now, they've been really like up and down with the animations the last couple, really quality-wise. So if they can do this, if they can colorize the original, then you don't have those issues. You can just have the pure same lines, same actors, nothing's changed there. It's just pure classic Who with just the colour. That's all that's added. Yeah. And I just can't help but think maybe that's the better thing going forward. Yeah. If they want to get classic out in a different form for people.
Yeah. I'm all for this because the technology is going to get better and better as we go along. So maybe next time round, maybe in next 9 years, they won't spend a whole year working on it. Maybe it'll just take a month. Do you know what I mean? So because of technology, you never know.
Ian, the excitement. The excitement in the live chat here on YouTube and Rumble and Facebook is, you can't fail to pick up on it. People are really excited about this for the most part. Obviously, there are results may vary. There may be one or two. It's simply not for them. But generally speaking, I think people are receiving this very, very well. Simon Ashley asks, am I correct in thinking they are doing new music for this? They are. Well, when I say they, it's all in the hands of this fella. So you've worked with Mark Ayres, haven't you?
I have. He was the person who did my very first short that I ever directed. He did the music for it. He's a nice
fantastic!
Guy. He's a very nice guy. In fact, I've worked with 2 Doctor Who composers, him and Dominic Glynn. They're both
brilliant.
Cut from the same cloth, both of them. And Mark Ayres is a very nice chap. I've known him for a long time. He's a nice chap. Yeah.
I mean, I'm all up for them doing new music. I'm not against this at all. I don't care whatever they've done. I'm excited about it. But part of me also loves the original music on the on the original Daleks. I love that sort of atonal, discordant, just noise. Basically, I love that. So I'm kind of hoping that Mark has kept that in and just sort of augmented it with new music rather than replace some of that wonderful. It's almost like just atmospherics. That's all
it is. I
love that. He's added some sound effects as well. I heard he hasn't. Oh,
well, I imagine I don't think there's going to be anything too bombastic. I think it will stay, pretty.
Yeah, I think so.
Authentic.
But he's a Doctor Who fan as well. Everybody has to remember that. So, So he's very respectful when he does stuff. So.
Simon Ashley says, in my opinion, the Daleks is the most iconic Doctor Who story.
Yes. I agree. From one Simon to another, I agree with you, Simon. Yeah,
it is.
Definitely. Michael just says, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And Who Colour again says it's just 2 weeks to go. I still can't believe it. I can feel the excitement and the pride just in these. It's so delightful to get these comments. I mean, I'm flattered that you guys are here watching Type 40 live and contributing on any level. But this is joyous to read your words here. These are flat words on screen, but the sentiment and the pride is just glowing off these messages. Thank you.
Come on a show, guys. After it's all done.
Come on a show. You'll be very, very welcome.
We would love to talk to you about it. Yes.
Yeah, you're not going to get out of this one, guys. You're going to have to drop back onto the show. Vanessa Law says, and I hope you gentlemen are listening to this, congratulations to everyone involved.
Yeah.
That's the real sentiment here in the live chat to you all. Rich, Kieran, Who Colour, Scott, everybody. The excitement is, it's definitely here. What else? Got more comments. Yeah. What was the creature in the forest? Asks T Dwarf Productions.
The Magnetron.
The Magnetron. The Magnetron.
Yeah, Tom says he's going to make one. So challenge is on, Tom. Make one
hello.
The big question for Darren, for the Darren Zone, is what time will Type 40 be on that evening? Wait and see, Darren. Wait and see. We've got bigger fish to
screening.
I might make a model of it, says T Dwarf Productions.
Hey,
and
bring it on.
More from all of that in a moment. Charlotte, I think we're losing you, aren't we?
Yes. It's bedtime. So
thank you as always. She needs a bit of sleep. Good night, Charlotte. Happy to have you as always. See you next time.
Take care.
Thank God she's gone.
The next time we speak. Every time. And I laugh every time as well. So who's sillier, him or me? Instagram and X. Like 40 Doctor Who.
Sure, elbow him. You're closest.
More comments, everybody. More comments. Let's get stuck into what people have got to say. No problem, Rich. Lots of bye, Charlotte.
I'm excited, Rich. I'm excited. Come on.
Very
a lot to get this geezer excited, Rich. I promise you. Thank you. Tony L watching here on YouTube says, thank you, team. Looking forward to seeing the Daleks in colour. We'll watch in the black and white version as well, because I've not seen it in ages. This is bound to happen.
Yeah.
People are going to watch both versions, just as you did, Sarah. I'm going to wait because I do know the original really well. You are too, Shah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Why not experience the beauty of what a fantastic story? In both, why not? I love it all.
I mean, I'll tell you what I'm intrigued about. I am assuming, maybe incorrectly, but I'm assuming that they're going to colorize the Daleks as they were made as the props with the blue balls. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll do gunmetal Daleks, but I'm praying that they.
No, it's got to be silver with the blue balls.
It's got to be silver with blue balls.
I think they're going to be respectful to the colour.
I would imagine. But the point being that the reason I'm saying that, of course, is because the reason they did the original colour scheme was not from a colour point of view at all. It was to work well with black and white. So one could quite reasonably argue that the Daleks were actually just silver. But I'm hoping they've got blue balls, boys. I'm hoping
somebody click that. Somebody click that.
That's one for the Christmas tape.
I was really struggling.
Rich says,
"Yay, Rich! Well, hey, thank you so much. You made my night."
I know we lower the tone. Rich brings it right back up again.
Well, to be fair, though, there would have been riots if there'd have been any other.
They would have been riots. We would have gone right off it. We wouldn't even be watching it if you'd done it without blue balls.
Obviously, we would never. That just sounded even worse.
Gary.
Okay, so let's compose ourselves, everybody. Yes. So what I'm going to do is our original chat with Rich Tipple. I'm going to put that back out on the channel so you guys can see the guys' previous work. But some of that
before they were famous.
Yeah.
Point though, yeah, you're famous now, guys. But more to the point, 2 or 3 years ago, where the resources there were still, I would imagine that the learning curve to this is probably never going to be over. But obviously, 2 or 3 years ago, what they were capable of what they'd explored as regards techniques and where technology could have been at 2 or 3 years ago, because it's coming in leaps and bounds. We could be some considerable way further along now in 2023 than we were in 2021. So heaven knows. But I do feel that I should show something as an example of the kind of work that Rich and Kieran and Scott and everybody can do. So, well, no spoilers for the episode itself, but this is a couple of images that they've produced before.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
Wow.
William Hartnell and Caroline Ford there
bump on his head.
in the Edge of Destruction story. Yeah, that's the third story. Look at the flesh tones.
The flesh tones, they're fantastic. I watched this as well because you know what it's like. You start watching one and then you just get sucked in. So I sat down and started watching this as well.
Look at his face, Shaw.
Yeah.
You can see the colour in his lips and everything. His nose slightly reddened.
I genuinely take my hat off to anyone who does anything like this. I think it's wonderful, and the amount of work and effort it takes. I applaud anyone. Fantastic.
And it's interesting, because I do understand sort of why there is an argument to not colorize them, but the argument I've always used for colorizing them, I've always used this, and you know this, Dan, is that these things were only shot in black and white because they couldn't afford colour film. It's as simple as that. They were made, if they'd been able to make them in colour, they would have made them in colour. The costumes were all made in colour. The Daleks are made with blue balls. They were made with colour. We just couldn't see it. And so it's totally legitimate. I don't buy this argument that the stuff was made in black and white and so it should stay in black and white. It was made for colour. They just couldn't do it.
I think it depends on what we're talking about. Like, for instance, Lauren Hardy deserves to stay in black and white, but something like Doctor Who, if you're talking about a different kettle of fish, as people say, and Doctor Who, I'd watch this in colour, definitely. Do you know what I mean?
I don't even agree with Laurel and Hardy. They would have made it in colour had they had colour film. It's as simple as that.
I don't know. I think it.
But they didn't at that time, though. That's the thing. Yeah, I think I agree with your argument.
Laurel and Hardy when it was one of the first. It was actually one of the first colorized things.
It was.
Ted Turner actually
and they're terrible.
Paid for it to get done, and they were terrible. They were
terrible. It's painful.
So of course, there's new technology and everything today. So
Darren Bradley asks Matt, what's going to happen with the Dalek gun negative screen effect, a new Remembrance style X-ray effect? Look, these are the kind of things that I don't want to know. I want to find out on the 25th of November.
I'm not actually sure. I'm not sure that they've done new effects on this. I think it is just colorization, but I could be wrong.
Is this episode? Was this episode shot on videotape or film?
Film. Oh no, sorry, video. Sorry.
Videotape.
Video.
Right,
sorry,
gotcha,
video.
Gotcha.
It exists on film simply because it was a film copy of a videotape playing on screen.
But Rich is saying lots of surprises, so I can't wait, Rich.
He's just teasing us now, isn't he?
He's bloody teasing us, mate.
It's not just. I mean, we've got the figures there. We've got the actors, our legends that we love so much. But this is just one. This is some of the effects work that they're capable of doing on old model work, old effects work from back in the 60s to bring this to life.
I mean, it is interesting because the Daleks exist. The truth is the recent releases of the Daleks on DVD have been a little bit muddy. The picture is not the sharpest, as the Darren Zone says, 405 line video. So it's not brilliantly high resolution. The Daleks, you look at some of the other black and white stuff, and it's, for example, I think it's episode 5 of the Dalek Invasion of Earth, which exists on the original film, and it's a fantastic resolution. The Daleks is not one of those. It is a bit muddy, so it'll be really interesting to see what these guys have done with it. It's going to be very difficult to colorize simply because it isn't the highest resolution picture, so that would have made it trickier, I suspect.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting to see what they've done. Can't wait. Cannot wait.
I can't wait either. The Daleks, the dead planet, the story that introduced the dastardly Daleks, not just to Doctor Who, but to the whole of popular culture. It has. I mean, it's a legendary piece of TV that is a fundamental of Doctor Who, just as Phil Collinson said there in that quote. So it's bold touching it under any circumstances, let alone creating a whole new vision for it. The Daleks were so ridiculously popular back in the 60s, weren't they, Simon? We read about it all the time, about Dalek mania, and there's always little nuggets that are coming out about it. I mean, just ask John Green of Dalek 6388, who's not with us tonight, but he's often in the live chat, and just go over to that website, and they're always uncovering new things, that new facts about it, or new curiosities about the actual props or the way they were filmed. And I would imagine that even going into the film to do work such as this might uncover things that even John didn't know about. You know, archive television, I think, because it was produced and was seen as kind of ephemera back then. They certainly couldn't have known we'd be watching it 6 years later and the geniuses were going to be playing with it. There's still so much in its gift. This is what always surprises me about classic Doctor Who, and why I'm so proud to be a Doctor Who fan.
Well, and also why it's still so exciting to be a Doctor Who fan still, when we're still getting this kind of stuff. You know, Doctor Who is the gift that keeps on giving. And I've said this before, we're lucky that we just happen to have fallen in love with a programme that still gets so much love and attention. And as somebody said in the chat earlier on this evening, to think that, you know, how many other shows from 1963 are we still talking about and are still getting the kind of love and attention and a recolorization all these years later? There's only one. It is, and it just happens to be the one we love.
I'll be eating blue Smarties throughout. Sure.
You can find them. No, I was just going to say, I mean, it's in the best way possible. Well, in fact, I don't think it could be taken any other way. Is that hopefully the younger fans, because maybe they'll be put off by it being black and white because they just don't know. Well, I don't know it, but I do just find a certain beauty in that sort of thing. But maybe even younger than me would appreciate it, and it may even introduce them to a whole new world of classic that they've never ventured into. Yeah, and it's just, I think it's just wonderful. I'm so pleased. I'm so happy. So if anyone has got an argument for, you know, keeping things black and white, that's my reasoning for, or argument, if you like, for me having it in colour. I want as many people to love the show as much as we do, and bring more people. That's
all we want.
Exactly. So
and not just even new fans, sure. I mean, like just the general public. I was talking to my parents about this, and my dad, my dad loves 60s and 70s TV. He's never been particularly a Doctor Who fan, unfortunately, but he is interested in this, and he is going to watch it. And my mum can remember watching the Daleks.
Really?
And she was terrified. She hates Doctor Who because she's still, to this day, terrified. So one day I want to meet Nick Briggs and take my mum with me, because that'll just be amazing. But yeah, and I said, "Oh, well, you're gonna what? You'll have to watch it in colour, won't that be lovely?" And she's like, "And I don't want to look at the Daleks. I don't want to hear them, because it brings it back."
Oh my god!
Yeah, we've been watching it in the dark with her brother and sister, and then she was of that generation of hiding behind the sofa. Yeah, so she's still terrified to this day. It's amazing.
Shout out to Will Hadcroft in the live chat.
Hello, Will.
He says, "You're right, Shah. I have a friend whose young sons cannot bear black and white. They find it intolerable as it messes with their brains." I know somebody who describes it.
I can understand that.
I know somebody's son, Shah, who describes it not even as black and white, but I can't watch that. It's in grey. That's what they say.
In grey. Oh,
it's not the fact that it's black and white.
Technically right.
yeah.
But for me, right, it's the fact that they can change something for the better. Like, for instance, as we discussed last time, that clip that I saw on YouTube when before Patrick Troughton was going to change into John Pertwee, and this, I don't know who did it on YouTube. They did that bit where they were up the top and he was at the bottom and everything was black. And to me, that enhances the story. And it's the same with colorization. Colorization is going to enhance that story of the Daleks.
Well,
and that's a good thing, in my opinion.
And the thing is with colour, it does simply bring another dimension to it. I remember being really, really bored by The Mind of Evil when all I could see was see it in black and white. Once they recolorized it, it suddenly turned into a completely different story. And suddenly, it just brings another dimension. Simple as that.
Yeah, definitely.
Lots of people laughing as well in the live chat. We're fortunate enough to have some colour photography from that story in existence for the team to look at, I suppose, haven't we, Simon? We've got several images from the Daleks, so we know how the set looked generally. These are actual photographs that have survived over the years.
Yeah, and that's why this is why we've got those set photos. And I'm assuming, I don't know, again, I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that they've used all those set photos and literally used the colour that was there on the set to reproduce it. That's what I would hope. I mean, you know, you look at the controls in the background there that are so iconic, those 60s Dalek controls,
yes,
the segments on them in the colours. And again, I just hope that all they've done is just pretty much slavishly followed that, because it's all it needed doing. That there's enough colour there for me to. I don't need it to be suddenly. You've got the Dalek film, the Peter Cushing film, which is super duper multi technicolor. I don't need that for this. I'm hoping it will be as true as possible to the original colours that were there on set at the time.
But I imagine it will be, Simon, just for the simple thing of why would these guys make extra work for themselves?
Yeah,
it's there, you know.
Exactly,
Use what you've got, which I'm sure they have done.
Because the colorization itself, obviously, that will be what immediately stuns us as viewers, but it won't be the only challenge that they meet and overcome to get the finished article onto screens and signed off. Who Colour says the colorization is, in my mind, much like a new artist covering your favourite song. It mixes it up and people discover the original too. That's fair enough.
Great point. Great point. Fabulous analogy, that. But the Daleks actually look I love the bronze ones, but to see them like that, they're so creepy. No wonder your mum was scared, Sarah. Like that they are really, really creepy. And I'm loving it all. This whole stream, I'm loving it. So yeah, I'm excited.
Paul Flint is yet another person who says it's going to be good to see this on the 23rd of November, the full coloured episode. Russell T. Davies, he's very active on Instagram, in case you hadn't noticed. We mentioned earlier on. Another delightful share from him this week was this. So the Daleks in colour, November the 23rd, BBC 4 and iPlayer, the original 1963 story, The Origin of the Daleks. And this is definitely, you recognise Russell's style. He's a great cartoonist. This is his drawing, I would imagine, that he passed on maybe to Rich, if he'd give us confirmation of that. But it certainly looks like this was his colour scheme, his advice on where he would personally take it. And I just love the annotation there, and the orange and the sky and all that kind of thing. It's just all lovely. This for as slick as all new Doctor Who looks, and we get all caught up with the Disney Plus and the new lenses and the HD and the 4K and all that kind of thing. Here we are, a group of people who love Doctor Who, who are very skilled at what they do, pooling resources to pour love and time and attention on something to bring other people pleasure, millions of people pleasure, and to pay tribute to those people who brought this stuff to the screens in the first place. I think this is an extraordinary thing. Do you feel better about it now, Ian? You seem salivating like the rest of us.
Yeah, I really love that episode. Well, the episodes, and I do agree with Starry and Simon. It does kind of get slow in the middle somewhere, but hopefully the edit would tighten everything up and and make everything move a lot faster. But also the fact that it's going to be in color, I'm all for that. Seriously, when it comes to Doctor Who, I love watching the improved versions of Doctor Who. Definitely. So I'm hoping this one's going to blow me away, and I'm going to like it even more. Sorry.
You'd like to think, wouldn't you? You'd like to think that maybe they have colorized all 7 episodes, and that they will eventually come out on Blu-ray, and they're just doing a 75-minute for BBC 4. That would be good. That's put the pressure on you.
That would be awesome. I think they've redone some visual effects as well, and some
maybe. I don't know.
They probably have, and that's going to be
all good.
Freaking awesome if they do.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good because, as Who Colours just said, it's a remix. It's just a different version. It's an alternative version.
That's exactly
like, as far as I'm
Simon. This is exactly how I view it. This is why the animations that come out now, those animations that come out around twice a year, and people get their knickers in a twist about those, and they want matching sleeves and to slot them into the play. To me, those are different productions as well. They're not the original episodes. And whilst some of the things that they change do get up my nose a little bit, is tinkering too far. I view them as brand new productions. I don't keep them next to them on the because we haven't got the original episodes. They're not the original episodes. This is just as Who Colour said, the animations are a remix, and so are these. A quick nod as well to Terry Nation and Ray Cusick, the writer and designer of the Daleks way back in 1963. I wonder what they would make of it all, particularly Ray, come to think of it, who slaved over those designs. That we've all seen them, haven't we? We all know the story of how little credit that he got in his lifetime and how he felt about it. But there they are. So both of them, sadly, no longer with us. I think Ray died about 13 years ago, didn't he? And Terry Nation, way back in the early 90s. A comment here from Phil Collinson on social media describes this production as one of the proudest moments of his career. I keep imagining my 8-year-old self reading the novelization, and here I am working on a version that lots of 8-year-olds will watch for the first time. So their ambitions are that children are going to see it. And both Russell and Stephen Moffat chip in there. The absolute joy of it, says Russell. Imagine those kids, wide-eyed, amazing. And Stephen Moffat says, this will be awesome. Awesome in big letters, before Russell finishes it off with, honestly, it's come alive. An exclamation mark. All this is very, very encouraging. And the next 2 weeks, they can't go fast enough. I don't believe in wishing one's life away. But I can't wait to see this. I really can't, Simon, after all these years.
And stupidly, it must be good, because otherwise BBC4 would not be transmitting it. It would be something that just would have come out on Blu-ray or DVD. So it must be pretty good. I'm not in any doubt. We won't be disappointed. I don't doubt it.
Michael's a fan of the animation, Sarah. Mark Milford, he's had a fangasm.
Wow. Might be too much information there, Mark.
I get a fan. Down in a darkened room, Mark.
Glass of water, cold shower. Yeah, absolutely. And you're quite right, Simon. You very much, I've spoken about this several times. I wasn't dead against colorization, but I kind of couldn't see the point a few years ago. But you persuaded me over a period of a few months. And now I'm not quite as fervent and as advocate as you are. I don't know anywhere near as much about it technically, but I'm absolutely and completely on board. And it was back on our New Year show, our Doctor Who annual for 2023, that we talked about this, and we speculated about how, come the anniversary date, the anniversary month, perhaps we would get a colorization of some sort. So we did speculate, but we were off the mark with what the content would actually be. But you can't be right. You can't be right all the time, can you? There's more details about this in the current issue of Doctor Who magazine. So this is one of the preview pages there, and you can see there's a couple of pictures. Just
the blue balls.
Brilliant, blue balls. There we go.
Yay!
Yes, you pick that up in the current issue of Doctor Who magazine that was in shops as from today, and that some subscribers have with them too. Won't leave that on screen for too long.
I like the fact that they included the color palette too, for the color, the color palette.
Nice touch.
The spot
nice
color.
Touch.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's a large article as well. There's quite a lot in there, so you can get stuck into that when you get hold of the latest issue of Doctor Who magazine. That's number 5597. And the Daleks, whether you're familiar with this story or not, it's coming to the TV. It's coming to BBC4. Premieres at 7:30 p.m. that evening on Thursday, the 23rd of November, Doctor Who Day itself. The Daleks in colour. Let us know what you think of all of this. How much are you looking forward to it? Were you maybe a little reluctant before and we've changed your mind? Or are you simply waiting to see what all the fuss is about? Were you dead against colorization? Or have you been like Simon and you've been down for this the entire time? And what are you looking forward to most? What are your biggest questions? We can't promise you any answers, and to be honest, even if we had them, we wouldn't give them to you. But it might be fun to put these comments and questions and wants in the comment section, and maybe we can come back to them in a couple of weeks once it's all done. Doctor Who Day on BBC4 there. It's not just the Dead Planets, the Daleks in colour. It's going to be followed by a repeat of 2013's much-loved docudrama, An Adventure in Space and Time too. So there's going to be lots of Doctor Who going on BBC4 that night for you to get stuck into as well. And again, our gratitude and thanks and respect to everybody who's worked on the Daleks on this brand new edit. Thank you for being in the live chat and giving us those comments. And yeah, we'll come and get you for some more another time as they all close their inboxes, change their email addresses.
But it has
we do
fantastic
appreciate it.
to have them in the chat this evening. So thank you guys for coming in the chat.
Congratulations in advance. And the comments keep on coming. Vanessa Law says it's a shame it won't be on over there. Yes, so Vanessa lives in the States, obviously, and Doctor Who is now a Disney Plus thing, and it is the only place that Doctor Who content's going to go. So as to whether this production will screen on Disney Plus, it wouldn't. I have no idea, and I wouldn't imagine. I'm going to take the heat off the gentleman in the live chat as well. I can't imagine that they would know either. As soon as we know one way or the other, then we will let you know. I just don't know. I can't imagine. I don't really want to speculate. It's a tough one, isn't it, Simon? Because this and Disney Plus might not be a fit. We don't know who paid for this, so just wait and see. Would be my
I think truth be told, it's going to appear in the States at some point. Sadly, no, you're not going to get it in 2 weeks tonight, but you'll get to see it. I'm not in any doubt, so don't worry too much, Vanessa.
Yeah, but we know who are it. That's all I can say.
We have we've got a comment there from Ron Harris. It will not. It's a BBC funded product.
Yeah,
he says. They should be showing an Unearthly Child as well. Says Sally Wagenblatt. Maybe they will. Like I said, the program guys hasn't come out yet, has it? We've got emojis there from Who Color.
That was what we talked about ages ago. Was maybe they'll recolorize just the first episode, and I still wonder whether maybe that's been done as well. Possibly, who can say?
We've got and other people talking about their favourite 1960s episodes as well. Darren Bradley says, "Call sick. My full-size Dalek is named after Raymond Cusick." What a nice idea! Love that.
That's lovely, Darren.
Oh, that's nice.
Well done. Okay, yes. So again, let's know what you think of that in the comments section. What are you looking forward to the very, very most about Doctor Who's 60th anniversary event that's coming right up? So much they've told us about, and I agree with you. Was it Ron who said, I've got a comment here from Ron, and we are happy to oblige. He says, hey gang, has anyone put together a list of what to watch and when during the anniversary event? It would be handy. You leave that to us here at Type 40. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the cluster bell to get all the notifications. And we'll see if we can deliver on that for you sooner rather than later. Keep the comments coming, everybody. Thank you for all of you who've added to that there on YouTube, Rumble, and on Facebook.
Welcome to Type 40. Was that good enough? I hope so. Or exterminate, exterminate, exterminate.
Very weird colour, wasn't it? Yes, one more thing. One more thing. As ever, we're rounding things off with a last look at the view screen, our regular eye into the temporal schism in search of the prettiest pictures from out there in the Whoniverse, particularly pretty in the 60th anniversary year. It's been inspiring a lot of digital and traditional artists, and we love getting all that up on the view screen here for you here at Type 40 Live. So if you're an artist or you know a fan artist that you think ought to be on our radar, get them up on the screen, send them our way. Tell us where we can find them on Instagram or Twitter or maybe DeviantArt, and we can get a look at their portfolio, maybe bring them in, put their work up on the view screen, and everybody has a goosey gander, as we all want to do. You can't wait for this, can you, Sarah? She's adjusting.
I am. I want to get closer so I can see.
The feasts for the eyes. Okay, first of all, Daleks hasn't been in the live chat tonight, but they have been the last few weeks. This is the latest digital piece from them. This is they were inspired.
Oh, very nice.
Beautiful, isn't it? They were inspired by the idea that the TARDIS could travel along a phone call, Sarah. That's what the lines are meant to represent.
Oh yeah, that's really clever. It makes me think of again. I'm on it today with Stolen Earth when the phone
exactly
the subwave network pulls the TARDIS.
Oh yeah,
into that little gap.
I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And interesting, this picture again goes to show something that I've talked about before, that there's just something so wonderfully poetic and romantic about that police box design.
Yeah.
It truly is a classic. It's just the way the light falls on it and the panels get highlighted in dark on the one side and light on the other. There's just something so, I don't know. There's something beautiful about that police box design. It's just so unusual and so alien in a way, and I just love it. It's just beautiful, and that artwork just really highlights it there. It's lovely.
Yeah, well done, Dalius.
He's used, Sarah. That's actually the current box. So you've got the little notches there just under. In fact, I think it's a mixture of a few things, come to think of it, because the police public call box sign looks like the TV movie one. So maybe this is his custom box. I know he's very proud of his custom box.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's
wow.
I mean, whatever. It works. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing, Dalius.
Yeah, that TARDIS just looks really, really good. That's one of the best renditions of a TARDIS I've seen for a while.
Ever seen? Yeah. Oh, it's okay, says Ezra Goldstein. So not quite as keen as we are. Yeah. High concept, says Will Hadcroft.
Yeah.
It's pretty high concept. Yeah, nice. I love seeing ideas like this, particularly with the Earth in the background. I see entirely what they're getting.
You know what? It's just occurred to me. It reminds me of the old Time Tunnel TV series from the 60s, the Owen Allen one. It's that kind of vibe as well. I like it.
Yeah. It's got great perspective, says Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Inside the spaceship, next for a catch-up with the 11th Doctor. There's Matt Smith in a piece by Mark D. Lewis.
Oh, I love that.
I'm assuming that's real art. That's pencil art, isn't it? I'm assuming that's physical art as opposed to digital, by the way.
Gorgeous.
It looks...
What is the console? What is the console? Is it from something, or is it made up by him?
No, it's the one from the Matt Smith era, but he's just interpreted it in a simpler way, and the Doctor himself as well. So he's got the tweed jacket on, but you can't quite see it, and you can't quite see so many details on the console, Simon.
It looks much better than the original
watercolor,
one.
I think.
That's my guess.
Is it watercolor? Okay, yeah, it could be. Yeah. It's lovely anyway.
Yeah, but that way, it works so because that console is so busy and bright.
Yeah.
Actually having it toned down and simplified, I think that's really effective.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good.
I'd have that on my wall.
I like the look on the Doctor's face.
Of course I would.
The look on the Doctor's face as well, Shah, the joy of the character, the youthful exuberance of Matt's Doctor. I think it's beautifully captured by Mark in this one.
That's what it's like. That's why it's childlike wonder, isn't it? The old guy that looks young. It's just perfect. It's perfect. I love it. Well done.
Oh my God, says Simon Ashley. Even Ezra Goldstein likes this one. Fantastic Doctor Who artwork. And Mark Milford said that looks right out of a classic Doctor Who annual. I see what you mean.
It does, Mark.
It does. Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. Yeah, you're quite right, Mark.
Very, very nice. I think that's the watercolor effect that you were honed in on there, Matt.
Yeah.
It's got a good feel.
Yeah, fabulous piece. We featured Mark's work on this show, I think, most of the last few weeks. He'll be getting a big head. There's a collection of beautiful pictures being put out, I think, most days now, by the writer and artist Paul Mars. And this is just one that I really liked. So obviously, which are these aliens from, Simon? Which episode is this from?
So this is Mission to the Unknown, and then obviously going into the Daleks master plan. And those are the alien delegates that all meet up to destroy the universe. I should be able to remember their names.
I love it when they have ambassadors all meet up.
Say again, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. No, I just love it when we have all these aliens come together, rather than just having one alien per episode or whatever. I just love it when there's
absolutely. I just always thought these were just such brilliant designs in the show, and so that artwork is just great because it's just fun, isn't it? Looks like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
It does a bit, yeah.
It is.
I was thinking of Scooby-Doo.
yeah. Well, that's Hanna-Barbera. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. This is going down really well in the live chat as well. Splendid, fabulous, all these kinds of comments. I like how he's mixed media to do this as well. I think there's chalk there. I think there's paint too. So he's used a bit of everything to give it that childlike
digital.
look. Yeah,
it's definitely digital.
Oh, you think it's all digital? You could be right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say it looks. Maybe it's mixed. It's actually mixed. It's a mixed medium.
Anyway, it's good.
So yeah, no,
it's mixed. Yeah, wow, that's lovely, says Tony L. We've got brilliant from Simon Ashley, and excellent from Ezra Goldstein, and lots more of the same. Fabulous. People really do like this. Paul is putting out one of these. I think he's doing them most days, just sort of cranking them out and doing a brilliant job. And I really like this stuff, and it's all got a kind of Christmassy feel as well. I think, Sarah, there is something sort of. I know we're still some way off Christmas.
I think it's because it kind of feels like almost like a Doctor Who Advent calendar, but in November instead of December. So yeah, every day somebody's got a beautiful picture out there.
Yeah,
it's all very exciting.
I think that's what he could be going for. Just drifting back to colorization for the last one, though, slightly different because this was in color originally. This is how the gold Daleks shine. You mentioned them earlier on. The bronze Daleks here from 2005 onwards.
Is that art? I'm so I was like, what? I got really confused.
The bronze Daleks, they're sort of classics of their own now, aren't they? We've been living with these Daleks now for 19 years.
Yes.
Everybody knows every single line, every single rivet, and the bronze too has a kind of classic feel. We've lived with this for a long time, but for a few years, artists have imagined what would they look like with the livery of the classic Daleks. Well, someone's gone in and fixed it and given us this. So we've got new Daleks with the classic colours there. We've got the blue balls, and various other accessories have also been tuned up in this piece by an unknown digital artist, Sarah.
The blue balls work. I'm not sure about the rest of the blue. I think a bit too much blue. I'm not sure.
I have a theory now. That's the reason why they're always so angry. It's because they're balls.
Because they're blue. That's why they're angry.
Could be.
Let's not go there, for God's sake.
Oh no, Rose is in the picture. Let's not go there.
Digital is a wonderful tool. So much wonderful talent, says Peter Harrington. And yes, people are laughing again. So another round of applause for the same old jokes. You keep laughing, we'll keep doing it. That's how it goes here at Type 40 Live. You encourage us, we're just gonna go with it. Lots more to come. So I wish I knew who'd done that, but I just thought it was a fabulous sort of full circle moment for this edition of the show here.
Yeah, it's a good. Yeah.
It just goes to show people do like blue balls. What can you say?
This is what we've learned from this stream.
Rose I'm
every day's a school
Rose
day.
has dealt with a lot of blue balls.
Yeah, come on, Russell. We need Daleks with blue balls back in Doctor Who, don't we?
Yes,
we do.
Somebody click that as well, please.
There you go.
Yeah,
I
get the
want,
hashtag.
for the Christmas New Year.
I'm getting a foghorn for the next one.
Montage of Simon saying random stuff like that.
Blue balls.
Please let me do it.
Whovember. Whovember is barely a week in, and look at the stuff we're coming out with already. Heaven knows where we'll be by the 30th or the 23rd, for that matter. Keep your eyes glued to the channel. Lots of little treats here coming on Type 40 and Type 40 Live videos, podcasts, and live streams, all coming your way. All you've got to do is send us your comments our way, comments and your recommendations too for fan artists, be they traditional or digital or cosplay or craft or anything creative from out there in Doctor Who, whether it's celebrating the 60th anniversary or just something from that 60-year history. We're all eyes as well as all ears as the weeks are becoming days before we get to the 60th anniversary stuff, when Doctor Who itself will be back. Thank you, everybody, for your company on this edition of the show. My God, the comments are still coming in. Peter Harrington had a blue ball once, but it burst. I think it burst a long time ago. Under the Doctor for long.
That does tend to happen when they've been there for a while.
Yeah. Will there be a Whosember too? Asks Gary Akers. Well, you never know.
There is. I think there is already, really, isn't there? It runs into December, so yeah, it is.
It looks like it. It looks like it.
What have you done?
Sorry. Sorry.
It's all started.
Not you.
If you want more blue ball action, you can reach out to us through our social media, Instagram and Twitter at
Missy will help you out.
Worse than Percy.
She definitely wouldn't trust her. Bring back Percy, Sharp. Bring back Percy.
Well, she did tickle the balls of that Dalek in The Witch is Familiar. So
she did.
God.
Instagram and X at Type 40 Doctor Who, or come and join us in the Type 40 Facebook group with regenerations worth upon regenerations worth of Doctor Who fans diving into the classic era, maybe on the Whoniverse app as part of iPlayer for the very first time, or looking forward to that new version of the Daleks. That's the classic stuff. New Doctor Who 2, reliving everything from 2005 onwards. People who grew up with both versions of the show. I think everybody's looking forward to what may come in all new Doctor Who, though, over the next few months, as one era leads into another, and one new incarnation of the Doctor also leads into another. It's going to be a busy few months. We'll be here with you every step of the way for this coverage of the 60th anniversary and beyond here on Type 40 Live. Tell us what you're looking forward to the most. Is it the Daleks? Is it the 14th Doctor? Is it the 15th Doctor? Is it the Doctor Who Bargain Hunt Special? There are no wrong answers, everybody. Whatever it is, we want to know about it. So, yeah, bring it to the comments section. Sarah, Simon, thank you for your company on this one. It's been a belter. I knew this was going to be a good one. Thank you.
It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. This has.
Matt Pott, he's got up. What time is it there, Matt? What time is it for you?
Oh, it's nearly 10 o'clock in the morning.
So how does Friday look so far as our real life time traveller? What should we look forward to? A good day?
Fine, with a chance of rain.
There you
Are you sure you're not in England, mate?
Yeah.
No, well, it just hit summer. I tell you, it's fantastic. It's really great after this long winter.
I think we've all sort of swapped continents, sort of, haven't we? Somewhere along the way, it's all gone a bit wrong. Peter Harrington specifies his blue ball was a football.
Thank you for that, Peter.
Yeah.
I couldn't have
while.
Easy now. We can sleep easy.
I couldn't have. So thank you, everybody, for all the comments, all your company. It's been a blast. Good night, everyone, says Michael. And Tar, very much for this live stream. It's been ace. Hope you all have a good weekend. I reckon the Daleks are the big bad in the specials, speculates Tony L. Heaven knows. So much to see, so much to talk about.
That's what it's called, Wild Blue Yonder.
Blue balls!
Oh, the great blue balls.
Tony's onto something.
God almighty.
It's enough to make you choke on your damn tarts, isn't it? That's it for this one, everybody. We always have the time if you have the space here at Type 40 Live, even if we haven't always got the blue balls. We'll speak to you all again next time. Keep tuned. Make sure your notifications are on. Just 2 weeks left. Speak to you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.